We live.
Looking at me. Share it on my page, right?
Oh, I wasn't supposed to move nothing. I ain't in here good enough, G.
There you are.
Look. You look right on the thing.
You got a foot to come on.
That's good. Hey, everybody.
Is the sound on?
Mm-hmm. I had to do that before I sat down. I said, I'm going to go live. I'm glad you didn't say nothing crazy. Peace, love. What's happening, y'all? This is your girl, Lotus J. We live at the Vibe, HighVibe Media Marketing Group. Tuesday show, you only see two of us. Why you think that is?
It's main 2 night.
Oh, wait.
It's the main 2 night.
I ain't got nothing to say on that because I'm not messy. I'm not the messy one.
Anybody that comes after now is on the B team.
They the B team. We the A team. We the starting.
This is the varsity.
This the varsity.
JV is on the way.
Well, we'll see who come and show up for JV, who make the cut. All right, so what's popping? How the boys doing in the basketball?
Doing good. We lost the game, but they played very well.
That's good, and sometimes it's good.
Giants, like some boys, like 6'2", 6th grade. I'm like,
what grade? What grade is this? The 8th grade team?
6th grade.
Oh my goodness!
But I mean, we had them, and they just wore us down.
Yeah, but that's good sometimes though. You can't always win because then you don't.
I said, man, y'all play good.
Especially this early, they got to learn how to take a loss.
Yeah, they were crying.
There's not too many.
The ones that didn't get in were crying. I say, now what y'all crying?
Not too many. That's our Wakanda team.
Y'all mad because y'all didn't get in. I didn't play a lot of people that game because I needed that.
You needed them boys that time, huh?
Yeah, I had to have it.
The ones that was gonna bring the drama. All right, so we got some stuff coming up this week. Let me do Brick House announcements first. Let me see. So, of course, tomorrow, this is HighVibe and Brick House announcement. Tomorrow we have our Wednesday night show, The Situation. And tomorrow's subject, we are dealing with stepchildren. So I think that's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We didn't get to do it last time.
What happened last week? Oh, Frank came 5 hours late. Hey, he probably watching too. So, yeah. So tomorrow's conversation will be about stepchildren and just the whole dynamics of the world of step rules for the children as well as the adults. So we're going to get into that a little bit. I already got some things I know I want to bring out. What else? Thursday we have line dance class, and it is so fun. We have a really, really good turnout for that, I think.
Yeah.
So we have that coming up this Thursday and every Thursday at 7. And Yolanda is a wonderful instructor, very patient, goes over everything, tells you step by step, and then gives time to practice. It's fun. We have a really good group. And then, of course, we always have poker every Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Sometimes y'all want something to do a little different. You want to try your hand or learn the game, or if you think you already know the game, try to make you some money. Come hang out, play poker. We do tournaments almost once a month now. We have one this month, a tournament.
Yep.
You remember the date or no?
24th.
The 24th. Okay.
$1,500.
$1,500.
Free to play.
Cash prize to play poker, and it's free. So where they do that at?
If you want some extra tickets, you gotta come
buy some food, some drinks, and
soda, not alcohol.
Tea,
fish, buffet,
water,
buffet ticket.
Desserts.
As long as it adds up to $10,
then you can get you a ticket to stay in the game. So that's a pretty cool thing. We have a really, really good turnout. So that's Thursday. Well, actually, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Sundays. And then Fridays, of course, we have our buffet. It's always great. We always have a good turnout. So y'all come hang out with us. This Friday, we have Kia Vim Band. Who's the feature?
Huh?
Who's the feature? I don't know her. She's
Which
a new
one?
person for Friday.
Oh,
Key of M.
yeah, I don't. Latriva Max.
Yeah. So that'll be pretty interesting. So y'all come hang out. That's what's going on at Brick House this week. And then, of course, Saturday and Sunday, we have Chicago Step Lessons. And Gino is a great instructor. Latrita Maxwell. Maxie. So she's going to be the guest featured artist with Key of M Band. And Key of M Band is a bad band. I like them. So y'all come hang out with us. What else we got going on? Oh, let me do this.
Western party?
Right, we have our Western party on Saturday night. It's going to be a lot of fun. So get your cowboy hats and your cowboy boots and your big buckles, your jeans. Or if you don't dress Western, that's okay too. But it is going to be a lot of fun. We have really good turnout, I think. We have good participation when we do special nights like that. You dressing up?
You know I'm going to be the bad guy. You know I'm going to be the bad cowboy.
You going to be the bad one from the dirty South. So, yeah, that's what's going on this weekend. And let me back up and shout out Kim, who brought a fabulous party on Sunday to Brick House. She always does. What's Kim's last name?
Moody Graves.
So Kim is she just has a wonderful spirit, and you can tell because a lot of people showed up to show her love. It was her 50th birthday party.
Said it's good for a Sunday. I said, look,
it's great for a Sunday.
I know people can't get that many in 5 days.
Right? She did it. It was cool. We had fun too. So
I hear people all the time say, I'm gonna have about 200 here,
and have about 2.
30.
I be feeling so bad for people when that happens, but you know, that's just what happens sometimes. So that's all of our Brick House announcements. And then we have a special announcement coming up this Saturday. We have the Jet Relays Soul Festival, which HighVibe is a part of. This is a great event. It is the very first.
Man, I almost can't believe that's coming.
It is. I'm proud of it too. So we have about 8 or 9. No, we have more than that. 10 HBCUs coming. We have Jackson State, Langston, Prairie View, Grambling, Howard, just all over the place. So that is wonderful. We've already sold over 8,000 tickets. Yes. So people are excited. So y'all come out. Yes. It's all day Saturday.
People gonna sit and watch
It's a stadium.
Oh.
It's inside of it's inside of Clark Stadium in Fort Worth. So y'all look up Jet Relays. We do have a few vendor spots left, and you can also pre-buy your tickets if you go to Eventbrite and type in Jet Relays. And again, it's in Fort Worth, Texas, this Saturday, March 10th. What else we got coming up? April is going to be a fabulous month. We got G birthday party. What we doing fun for your birthday party this year? I know.
Ice is gonna be.
I know. I'm so excited.
It's gonna be hot and cool.
It's going to be hot and cool. Hot and cool. I sound like Chandra.
I'm gonna set it on fire Friday night
and then gonna cool it off.
Down it.
Which means Friday night we are wearing red. I have to remember to sit back.
Wear your red. And
Saturday we are doing blue.
I gotta find a red suit. I ain't never wore a red suit.
That'll be slick. If you get it tasteful.
Be the right.
It has to because
not Santa Claus.
A bad red suit is
There's 2 kinds of red suits. There's a red suit and then there's a red suit.
And which one you want?
Red suit.
The red suit. So you ain't trying to overdo it.
I ain't doing the St. Nick suit.
Yeah, because that's too much. But so yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Fire and ice.
So you guys have to. What we doing for entertainment?
I don't know yet.
So that will be. We'll give you that information soon.
It's gonna be hot.
We're gonna bring it. It's gonna be hot on Friday, and they're gonna be cold on Saturday. You're right. All right. And earlier that day, we have a luncheon called "It's Our Time," and we're really looking forward to that. We have a wonderful group of panelists, some ladies that are coming in, and we're dealing with the healthy choices for women. So it's our time, ladies. We need y'all to come out and hang out. Men, we need y'all to show up and support the ladies, and even just be in a position to be able to hear and dialogue. It'll be open conversation, so it's for everyone. So we want y'all to come for that. Again, you can get tickets from Eventbrite if you look up It's Our Time, or we'll have them at Brick House by next week. Let's show you the t-shirt. You hold it up because you got a better seat.
It's y'all time. Our time is up, fellas.
It's up.
It's up.
It's sister time now. It's our chance. It's our chance. So yep, y'all can get t-shirts.
Can you get another one done with bigger
font?
Bigger font.
Yep. That's a sound.
But our time is up, fellas.
Time to pass it on. Y'all jacked it up.
Y'all
jacked it up.
You gotta be nice.
Y'all didn't do it right, so it's our turn.
That whole thing.
And we supported y'all.
Yes.
So now y'all gotta show up and support us.
Can y'all please support us again after this is over?
Nope. It's our time. So that's what we have coming up with Brick House Lounge. We got a lot of great things. And then, of course, we always have other things in between. Our Zodiac and basement parties the first Friday of every month. A lot of fun. So, yeah, just come kick it with us. What else? Did I miss anything?
Be a big night.
Which one? That whole weekend, man.
It's going to be huge.
Because we're going to be kind of tired from your party Friday night. Then I have to get up there early.
3 days to 2 days.
Yeah. And this is a big birthday.
That third day is no.
This is a big birthday too. So y'all gotta come show some love. We pre-selling tickets or just regular at the door?
That's a good idea.
Okay. So we
might just do that.
We will probably pre-sell. You might want to get your tickets early. And then you definitely want to get your tickets early if we do Mars Venus. So y'all stay tuned on the special events for the birthday bash. I'm kind of excited. Can I tell them about your birthday gift?
You got me a birthday gift?
You got one outside.
Oh, no.
Okay, I can't tell you.
No.
Why?
No. It's not important.
It is to me.
Well, let's keep it between us.
Okay, then I can't tell you, so sorry. Dang. Okay, so anyway, it's good news, though. So just be happy about that. All right, so Solar is outside.
She outside?
Mm-hmm. We're gonna take a.
Go get her? You ain't got nothing to talk about?
Yes, I can always talk.
What you gonna talk about?
You do petty. I'll go get her.
Oh,
then I'm gonna miss your petty. You got glasses?
I can go get my glasses.
I got some glasses.
I can go get my glasses and you can.
Okay, I'll keep talking. All right, so.
Talk about your new shows, X.
Okay. So we have some great new things coming to HighVibe Media and Marketing Group, and we really want you guys to be a part of it. So if you're interested in hosting your own show, we got a lot of things coming up and going on. So as of right now, we have The Black of the Berry, which is our show. Well, let me back up. On Mondays, we have The Conversation that comes on at 6 o'clock. We also have Straight from the Hip. It comes on at 8:30. Black of the Berry is every Tuesday from 8 until 10. And now we have some new show. Of course, we have The Situation at Brick House. And we'll be adding Isis. I'm so excited for her to come. She has a show, Trinity, coming up in April. We have a new show. Queen B will have her show. Mayana, shout out to the Soul Sister. She'll be on HighVibe Media and Marketing Group coming up soon. And I have, let me see who else. Oh, 2 other sisters will be starting their shows too, so they're just waiting to lock down their dates. But we have some really good things going on around HighVibe Media Marketing Group, and we want to extend the invitation to you as well. Oh, one of our favorite new shows is called Speak Up, and Speak Up is a show with youth. They're not teenagers anymore, but with youth, and it is so great because they're talking about real things and they actually educated. I'm telling them about Speak Up, the show. Can you put that door? So they're young, but they really are disciplined. I really enjoy their show. So they come on Mondays at 10 to 12. They can. They didn't take no break. And at 11:45, she talked about some. Can I take a? Is it time for us to take a break? Can we take a break? I said I tried to get your break, but y'all kept going. Right. So that's a good show, though. And it's youth. So support them because they study and prepare for their show. They were talking about net neutrality. Did I say it right? Neutrality? Because I mess up words. That's what they showed. They was talking about the internet, and they're trying to put these restrictions, and you have to pay for internet now. Well, that's what's coming. That's what.
What do you mean, pay for internet?
Well, like you're gonna have to pay for what they're trying to do is make you pay for all of your social media and like Google and Yahoo and all that kind of stuff. So that's what they were talking about. Yep. So, but now there's some perks to it because it does streamline who you connect with, and it also, like, what it will do is if you post something on Facebook, it will automatically do all of your social media. So you can build faster like that, but do we really want to take internet away from people who cannot afford it? Because that's really the way of the world now.
I wouldn't do it.
Very few people pick up books and read anymore. It's all online, so that's what that's about. All right, so what else? Anything else?
You went through all the shows?
Mm-hmm. And we talked about if anybody wants to join the team, they can get a show.
Solar, where's your stuff? You late? Where's your stuff?
I have my stuff. Hello.
You ready with your African proverb? Who's ready?
I am.
Oh, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
She gotta go first because I need a little break.
I'm ready.
I'm talking.
On the
Yes, on the talk show. But I'm talking about myself.
Okay. So listen. You got music for me?
Yes.
Or do I just jump right in?
You don't even have headphones on. First. Don't come in being pushy and you're 45 minutes late.
Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world.
I knew G was gonna say something.
This is a show. The main topic is about relationships. So I tried to do relationship theme music.
Okay. I hope this ain't no crazy, man.
Relationship theme music. Ain't no.
Microphone on. Our microphones ain't on. My mic wasn't on the whole time. This is so long. Who is this so long? You got it, right?
You know who it is too.
They got a show called Revoking Your Black Card or something. She need to go on. You don't know? You hear it in your headphones?
I hear it in my headphones.
But I think the music is too loud for her to be able to hear the voice. I'm trying to help.
I know. Thank you.
Give her another one. I just believe she can get that voice.
You can't get that.
Who is it?
I can't hear nothing in my headphones.
You can't?
No.
Oh, is that Patti LaBelle? Aretha Franklin.
Stop.
I don't know who it is.
Stop.
I don't know who it is.
Stop right there.
Who is it?
It's not neither one of them.
Just
Who
stop.
is
Though.
it?
Just stop.
I just have faith that she can do
Can you
it.
tell me who it is?
Go ahead with your little facts.
Can you tell me who
After
it is?
I woo-saw.
You know, I had to woosah the whole way here. Okay, anyway. So, have y'all ever heard of...
My headphones are not... yes, they are. They're working.
You're so extra.
I swear you like 8 tonight.
As every show.
Or in this moment.
Because I'm tired of being grown and paying bills.
Ooh, I
This
know.
is where I can come and be a kid again.
Right, with all the loud colors, the
Right.
orange and the purple.
Sweatsuits
You show right.
with my
That's you.
playground mates.
This is your playground. How about
Sid the science kid.
Right.
every Tuesday
No,
at 8?
Petty Wop on
Yeah.
the playground.
Petty
Petty Wop
Wop.
on the playground. That's it.
Here goes
Petty Wop
Petty
on the
Wop.
playground.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Sound like a little kid.
I know.
That was funny.
All right, y'all. So, have y'all ever heard? Okay, so this is a little bit of a different type of history fact. I was just reading and I came across and I was like, oh man, this is something wonderful to share. But have y'all ever heard of the Jefferson Hemings family?
Nope.
Okay, so apparently Thomas Jefferson, y'all know who Thomas Jefferson is, like one of the founding fathers.
This dude on the nickel.
Who wrote the, is he on the nickel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think.
He was like the primary writer of the Declaration of Independence, right? He was third president, all of that good stuff, right?
Who was the second?
Huh?
Who was the second president?
I don't know.
George Washington
was the first.
Andrew Johnson
Madison?
or somebody?
I mean,
Man, that's a trivia question. Who was the second president of the United States?
Adams?
Somebody can Google that real quick.
Yeah, it's very easy. I'm sure it was probably Adams or something like that.
Hamilton, Adams.
No, John Adams.
I thought Jefferson was
John Adams.
Quincy Adams or John Adams.
I think it was John Adams.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway. So apparently Thomas Jefferson
Who cares anyway?
had a...
Not your stat, the second president.
Okay.
I'm like,
Not her fact.
He had a long, like a 40-year intimate relationship with this young lady named Sally Hemings.
mm-hmm.
And they had 6 children together, and she was 14 when they
Hooked up?
Yeah.
He's a pedophile.
Yes, he is. However,
Second pedophile of the United States. Or third.
No,
Or third.
No.
Go ahead.
but
Whole bunch of
apparently in the mid-90s was when this story started coming out and people started talking about it. Well, it came out during his...
Sally Henson story.
Hemings.
Yeah.
Hemings, yeah. Well, let me backtrack. It came out during his presidency, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the family kind of was like, no, that was his brother or whatever, and they kind of swept it under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the story resurfaced in the 90s where people started doing doing research, and then they had some type of DNA test to prove that her children, or at least one of her children, were
his
from
children,
him.
yeah.
And so what he ended up doing was taking Sally, her brother James, and his daughter to France. And
Sally's black, right?
Yeah, Sally is black.
Mhm. She was a
James-
slave.
Yeah, she's
Oh.
but Sally was mixed race,
Mm-hmm.
and her other siblings were too. But it started off as, well, I guess Sally was a gift to Thomas Jefferson's wife. And when she passed...
Isn't that crazy that you can gift a human being?
I know, it is crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
But when she passed, of course, he, inherited all of that, and he went to France. And he brought Sally, James, and his younger daughter with him. Because I think one of his daughters was sick and passed, or something happened. But anywho, so within that moment, that 2-year stint in France, they had this relationship. And in France at the time, they had abolished slavery. So anybody that was on French soil, they could have petitioned and they would have got their freedom, right? Well, somehow Thomas Jefferson convinced her and her brother to come back to the States. But what her declaration is that I'll come back with you only if any children that we have together, you free them at age 21. Mm-hmm. Right? And so,
21?
Yeah.
Why they can't pop out of there free?
Well, at the time,
get it.
Any child born from
I get
the
it
mother,
back then, but
yeah. It was
But
a
what
slave.
mother? You like
21?
Yeah.
Well, but look at it though.
Beat to death by 21.
But they can't be. Well, here's
Well,
the thing.
couldn't she have gotten it in France?
Well, she didn't have any children then, but she could have gotten her freedom in France.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, she could have.
So if she was free and she had a baby by another free man, why wouldn't that baby be free?
Because the baby is still born black in the
Well,
States.
in the States, yes.
But the offspring of two free people.
Well, the thing is, it's kind of
You
risky.
think they were fair during slavery?
No, I'm just saying it had
It's
to be some. It
logical,
had to be
no.
some sort of rule.
Well, there were rules, but like Lotus said, they weren't necessarily fair. So if you was free and you got caught in the South, they can, put you into slavery even if you were free.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if 2 free people had a baby and the baby was free. If they
Like the
captured
white folks
you,
was going to abide by the rules.
If they captured you, you were
But I'm saying if
enslaved.
that's his, I don't know what to call it,
Right.
concubine.
Right.
Yeah, mistress. Yeah. Well, that's what they called it.
He
then,
should have been
concubine.
saying she's free, baby's free. But
Mm-hmm.
I guess he couldn't let him know that.
Well, no, because
He was
during
the
the
pappy.
time, I mean, he was a very prominent figure. So, no, he couldn't let them know. But what happened was all of the children that he had from her, they never worked in the fields, and they were
House
trained.
niggers.
Well, they were trained in special crafts. And I think 2 of them end up...
You know they were still house Negroes, though, don't you?
Yeah, but they were
I mean, I know you don't
That's
wanna,
what
but
they
that's
were.
really what it was. They were still black. But go ahead. You're
Well,
right. They were,
but he showed different type of attention to those children, and because of that, I felt like he really cared for Sally, even though
I believe he really loved her.
even though they couldn't really have a traditional relationship.
Well, let me say it like this. I don't necessarily believe he really loved her, but I do believe that he believed he really loved her. And the reason that I say that is because my mind cannot conceive if I can't even conceive it. Like, yeah.
What?
Well, 2 things. The fact that this is an older man and a 14-year-old little
Right.
girl, number
That's-
1. And number
Well-
2.
Pedophiles.
Right.
Well, yeah, but at the time when they left Paris, she was 16, of course, because they was there for 2 years. So when he brought her back, she was. It was said
Legitimate.
that she was pregnant when they were returning back to the States. But the thing is that I wondered. My questions were, why didn't she take her freedom and take her chances in France? For one, she was a very beautiful woman. She was young. I'm sure she could have, made do. Her brother was much older. He was.
She was in love.
Well, no, she wasn't. She was young, but Thomas Jefferson was training her brother to be a French
Why
chef.
would you assume she wasn't in love?
I don't think she was in love. I think that what happened is all of her family was back in
She wanted to come
in
back.
Virginia. You know what I'm saying? And she was a little girl.
So are you saying that you just don't think she was, or it was impossible for her to be in love?
I just don't think that she was in love with him. I mean, he was like her master.
Not really. You just said they were special and they slept
He
No.
was
together.
still her master.
I think, yeah, he was her
I
master.
bet she didn't have to
but,
do nothing hard.
But what? No,
She had to do. She probably had to do what a regular wife had to
Do you know
No, she
how
didn't.
Cook,
many?
clean,
Do you know how
Vacuum the
many white
or
men
sweep the floor.
took them black girls? That was just, they were still slave master.
Yeah,
think-
but I see more of a relationship.
It
right
was
there.
a relationship
It's
there.
yeah, I think over time it kind of manifested into a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because he took care of the children from
Yeah,
her.
he took them to France and like,
No,
hey, come back.
No,
And
but no, not.
you don't do a regular old slave. Like
I don't think that they were in a relationship
Like a
prior to
traditional.
them going to France. I think that at some point they got together,
So
or he.
I think they were.
Took her.
I think it started out as the regular old slave master
Going into
slave.
the room.
I think
yeah.
he caught feelings, and he formed a relationship, and that's why he took her.
But that's what I'm saying. Well, not took
you
her
said
to
before.
France.
You said right. Didn't he take her to France?
Yeah, he did, but he took her as to look after his younger daughter.
that's like the nanny,
Yeah, she was like a nanny, but she was too young to be a nanny. But
but she wasn't too young to be a
screw.
mistress.
I know some 9-year-old nannies.
Right.
you know, but my question is that okay? So the second question is, I feel like he had to have loved her because he took care of the children the best way that he could
After.
in those times.
So how couldn't she love
Being
him?
that they were in fact, they were like 75%. Like what is it? 7/8. They were 7/8 white.
Because
So they were more
she
white
Why,
than
why is
black.
it impossible for her to love him? I think she would love him
I think
before
she-
he would love her.
I think she did, after time, yeah, but that was her fate. I just feel like I felt like when she made that decision to go back to the States with him, she said, I got to secure, I don't know if she was a forward thinker or not, but I'm thinking maybe she,
Now we talking about 1800s and so low. We ain't talking about 1995 woman thinking.
but you,
we talking about
nah,
she
but
just
you don't
probably
think,
loved
but
him.
you don't think mothers thought that they didn't want, mothers didn't want their children to suffer, in the fields or whatever. They
Should have
didn't
stayed.
want
Why
that
she
for
didn't
their
stay in
children.
France then?
Because maybe she
they would've
was
been free.
young and she didn't know how she was going to make it.
Or
I don't know.
right, right,
well,
and because
right.
she was by herself. And
Yeah,
Could've went a
but her
million
brother
different
was
ways.
there, and her brother was like 24
Yeah.
at the time.
I wish we knew.
I wish we knew too, but that
Have you seen the movie?
What's the name of
Jefferson in Paris.
I don't remember the name of it, but if you just look up, I think it's on Netflix.
Is it?
Mhm.
I haven't seen the movie.
It's a really good story. A really good story
Got it.
to watch.
Man, I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, it was.
But I think it's under. I don't know if it's Jefferson or.
I think it's called Jefferson in Paris because I was.
That's not the movie I saw though. But you know, a lot of times they have several.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll definitely check out the story, but I just think that Sally Hemings was just so significant, and her story is really interesting of how, like, you know, because people was passed down through the family, and when this person died, like, she was.
They can just will you as
Yeah,
a human
It's
to
crazy.
But then she ended up in this romantic relationship with the third
A
president
pedophile, yeah.
of the United States, who was indeed a pedophile and had 6 children, and and she secured a future for her children.
But
Or at
can you
least
call him a
tried.
pedophile?
Why wouldn't you?
But because now listen to this. Hear me when I say this. Somebody has to say. Think about it. Now morally, it's all jacked up. I ain't saying that. But somebody has to say wherever they are in time in an area has to say what's legal and what's not.
Well, you know,
Because it could have
in
it
that
couldn't
time
have been it at that time. It may
It
not have
was-
been any age
it
restriction.
was very normal
Well-
in that time.
And that was
frame
even
for
with black
older
people.
men.
That's even with black folks.
No,
Yes, it
because
was.
during
Yeah, yes,
that, well,
that's even with
during
black
that
people,
time,
Solar.
black people didn't have rights. They weren't looked at as humans. So whatever laws that applied to whatever at that time did not apply to enslaved black people.
But you ain't making no sense though. What you saying right now? Because what we saying is, even black older men marry young girls, 13, 14 years old.
Like the
That's what
story,
we saying.
like the movie The Color Purple is not necessarily a true story, but it's based on true facts.
It was just legal
That
to
was-
marry
that was
kids
what it
until
was
somebody
in
at
that
some point
time
saying,
frame.
"Hey, we got to have an age limit. This is too young."
Well, yeah, I think they. I mean, that was.
So
like
we're
a
saying it was
common-
all kind of
that was a common
pedophiles,
occurrence.
but they weren't pedophiles because
but
that
that don't
was okay.
mean, but that still don't mean that it's not though, because
Immorally,
that's what I'm saying.
they were immoral.
It has to be some kind of standard.
Okay, but listen.
Because what do you have in common with a child?
You have control.
But-
you can mold
No,
and
this is
shape
what-
them.
this is what I'm saying.
To be whatever it is
you
you
want
need
them
or
to
want
be.
them to be.
But who is the moral authority
I understand what
to
you're
say
saying.
to say I think it should be this age, and then somebody say, "Oh, I think it should be this age." Well, no, it should be
The
lower.
courts.
It should be so. You know what I'm saying? But it's all the majority saying what the moral
yeah.
line should be. But you know, it's a violation because they just
Or the,
But
or
it wasn't
those in
against the
position
law.
Of power.
yeah.
It really was. It really wasn't though, because if you think about back in ancient Roman times, like that was such a normal. You know what I mean? For they actually thought it was almost like a delicacy for a Roman man with authority to have a little boy. Like, and they did
Little
To
boy,
have a
what you
little
mean,
boy
little boy?
intimately.
Little boy doing what?
intimately.
Intimately.
What?
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
Now you don't need no moral authority for that.
Well, but
That
what
don't
I'm-
even go. That don't even go with each other.
But what I'm no, it doesn't. But what I'm saying is different. The point you brought up, different time frames, different things were
No
accepted.
matter what time frame we talking about,
I get
a
it.
man and a man.
I agree.
So
get
we
it.
saying something different. though.
No, that's
That's
not the
not-
point.
Or
That's
at
not
least I'm
really
saying a man
it's
and a
still
woman.
a child. It's
That's
still a
my
child.
point.
See, and that's a man thing right
No,
there.
I'm saying-
because it's okay. Because
No,
what you're
and that ain't-
saying,
no, it ain't even
what
got-
you're sounding like to me is
Okay,
that
I'll
you're
let you
trying to
finish.
justify.
No, I'm not. I'm
Yes.
saying what's natural. At least it's a man and a male and a female. I ain't
Look.
talking. You talking when you talk about a male sleeping
But
with
you
another
just got-
boy or
but
a
you
man.
just got 38 hot when she brought up the Romans.
No, only because it was two males.
That's
I
her
know.
point. And her point is because it's still a child, that people should be just as outraged about a grown
Yes.
man with a young female.
Yes, but what I'm saying
you're
is,
saying,
but I'm saying when you say a male and a female, that's because that's something that we can decide what's the age limit. You know what I'm saying? We ain't saying that he may not be morally wrong or you wouldn't do it, but at least we talking about something that's natural, male, female. So you might think a 16-year-old is too young, but back in the day they might have considered that a woman. I'm saying at no time is a male and a male going to be cool.
acceptable. And I get that. that, and I understand, and I agree.
So that's my outrage.
I agree. However, what she's saying, and
And
I
what
agree
Lois
on
saying.
both,
Right.
that and this goes back to the whole image of how women were not valued as much as men, or males versus females, because at the end
Exactly.
of the day, it's still a child.
Well, here's the.
And I get what you're saying.
No, I'm finna hit it. I'm gonna hit this point real
Well,
quick.
hit
We can
it
move
then.
on.
Hit it then.
The same can be said about a woman dating young boys, because that
Agreed.
happens.
Agreed.
So I'm saying that's not the outrage that I have.
Agreed.
The outrage
But-
for me is the fact that the person is still an adolescent. Period.
But even
Point
the
blank.
example that you just brought up, that's a problem too, because
Grown women and young boys.
But
yeah.
but that's just something that you like. Oh, I don't feel
But-
right about.
But
We're talking about
people
something that's
don't make as big of a deal,
when it's women.
They don't. I agree.
and that's a problem. Big shout out to Dez watching, tuning in with us.
Okay.
Dez, Universal
Peace.
Purpose. We love you.
There, looks like Melissa put a link out there.
I was just about to shout her
What's
out
up,
too.
Rod Hill? Okay.
Rod,
who's
Rod
next?
tune in.
Yeah, Rod's up there.
Thank you, Melissa. We gotta check that out. That's what I was looking for too. Very good movie. So yeah,
What movie?
that story you just told.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You ready, Lois?
Mhm.
Relationship Tuesday.
So,
Even the pedophile ones.
Oh my gosh.
Ready, Lois?
Yep.
Now here you go.
I know she doesn't know who that is. I'm not even gonna waste.
Don't.
Love's
don't.
gonna get you. Love's gonna get you.
That word love is a very serious thing. And if you don't watch out,
You can get this voice though.
No, I'm not
because a lot of
participating.
people out here, they say, I love my car, or I love my
Love's gonna get you,
chain,
Solo.
or I'm just in love with that
So,
girl.
am I gonna get shut down 'cause you
So all
playing
the
that?
people out there that fall in love with
We do not own
Let
the
me stop.
rights to these
It
songs.
was so funny. Neither one of us gonna have nothing to stream from tomorrow. Facebook, please don't do it.
No show.
Facebook, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't shut us down.
Forget you, Facebook. Do
Love's
it.
gonna get
Do
you.
it, Facebook.
No. Love's
Facebook,
gonna-
you ain't running nothing.
No. Yes, they
That
are.
ain't no real jail.
Yes, they are. You feel like you ain't in your cell. You in my cell.
Forget
right
you,
now.
Facebook.
See, you know what?
Ah.
What's up?
We gonna make up our own Facebook.
What you got?
We can do
All right,
that.
this is a slick little quote. I like this.
You want to go first?
No, you can go first.
Yeah.
I'm a yes.
So this is a quote, and I'll
Gotta
give a
figure
hint
out
if
who
you
said
need
it.
it. Yep. You have to learn to get up from the table when love is over. Well, no. You have to learn to get up from the table when love is no longer being served. You know who that is?
No.
He has to.
I just
know.
heard. No, I don't. I just
Have
heard
I
that
shown
You
quote.
remember it?
I just
Gee,
remember the quote. I don't remember
You
who
are
said it.
supposed to know so that I can say
She said
what
love.
he said.
She's talking about love.
What that mean?
You,
What he
you,
know?
you married. You better know before me.
I don't know nothing about love. I'm gonna tell you that.
You
now.
don't know nothing.
That's why she
I don't
married.
know nothing about love.
Let me just say,
Can you read the quote?
I'ma
in-
say
in
Tina
their
Turner.
voice? Can you read the quote in their
Tina
voice?
Turner.
You can't. Can you try?
Tina Turner.
Tina, can you read the quote again?
You have to know when to get up from the table when love is no longer being served.
Oh, look at you. You
I just
sound
don't know
you
who said it.
about love. I don't know.
It's a female. She was a radical musician. 60s, 70s.
Oh yeah, that's way out of my league.
Patti LaBelle.
Patti LaBelle wasn't radical. Was she radical?
She was a radical musician, I thought. Not
No.
Angela Davis.
No.
Angela Davis wasn't a musician.
Can you just guess something stop, and get off my tip? Say your own stuff so I can call your stuff.
Funny.
Say your own
so
stuff.
funny.
She just gonna sit up here and talk about all my answers.
She just go knock
She
all
just
your
gonna hate.
answers,
It's
but
called hate on this
Yeah,
election
nothing.
day.
Did
On
you
this
just get
election day.
mad? Did
That
you
is
just
so
get-
funny.
Get your own
He
answer.
got real mad. He's like, is you big mad or little mad?
I'm medium mad right now. One more. Say something.
That is
Solo.
funny.
I was just waiting on you to say one more name.
You don't even know anybody.
Okay, here's one
50,
more.
60, 70, 80,
I
90.
just
Here's
said
one
that's out of my
more.
league.
Here's one more hint. This is a big hint. I don't know if it's big enough for you to get it, but you should be able to get it.
You can go to the bathroom. You ain't gonna get it no way.
Whatever.
What's
So, Mississippi got down.
Mississippi got down.
Got
damn.
damn. She wrote that song. That's her song.
I'm finna Google her.
I don't know who wrote that.
Nina Simone.
Nina
I don't even know who she is.
I know Nina Simone.
I know. We did a study on Nina Simone. 4 women.
Yes.
Yes, that
You
was one of
you
the-
should have known that.
I should have, but I didn't.
That's another very good documentary.
I seen her documentary.
Nina
I love
Simone's
it.
documentary is a beautiful
If you would have
story.
did it in her voice, I would have got
I
it.
can't do her voice. And you wouldn't have got it.
I don't even know.
She sound like a
You wouldn't have got it though, because that wasn't on your mind. You wasn't.
yeah. Nina Simone.
You wouldn't have got it.
You got another one or that's it?
That's it. We took up a lot of time with yours, and you was late. You were late.
I mean, but did you have to add that part?
Well, that's why I can't do another one. I couldn't get the kind of time you got, because you was late.
It's all about love.
Where your glasses?
On my face.
Okay,
It's all about love.
come on. I know there's some good petty
It's all
stuff.
about love
Let's go.
and relationship.
All right,
And we'll be back.
all right, babe. Y'all be good now.
Bye, Daddy.
Don't do nothing crazy either.
Okay, Daddy.
Sound like Monique.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord. I know this.
You have no idea what.
I don't know who sing it, but I saw the video.
Hello, Daddy.
Side piece.
Remind me on the phone.
I don't know the
Side piece.
What's the name of it?
Shit, side.
Side,
SOD.
like a
Might
side
as
piece.
well be a side.
To be with my side.
It's all about love and relationship.
That's it. Right.
It's all about love.
So
Keep spreading love.
that song make me think of Al Green. But go ahead.
What you mean? With the grits?
No. Do what you just said.
What? Spreading love?
Just the whole I left home to be with my side piece. Love's gonna
I'm sure
make
he
you
came back.
but love gonna make you stay or go.
No.
I mean, yeah, he came back for dinner or something like that.
To who? The side piece or his
No,
woman?
to his woman.
I guess I got it from my
Got
dad.
it from my dad.
Because it's all in my jeans.
All in my jeans.
See, if
I
I
ain't
take
talking about
it
my
to
blue
my
jeans.
See,
I got some advice for
Give it
women.
to us.
I got some advice for
Please
women.
tell
I mean,
us.
this is relationship. I only give relationship saving advice to women.
okay.
But it's always crazy.
Marriage.
So ladies, brace yourself.
Marriage, relationship saving advice. That's all I got.
Okay. Let's go.
All right. Here we go.
Really, you can't take no advice from Dura, but okay.
First of all, ladies, you got to stop. If you got a man or a husband, you got to stop driving your cars like army tanks.
Splendid.
And he gotta stay at the shop because you running over curves. You stopping on your brakes at the last minute. You hitting potholes. It's a car. Drive. It's not a tank.
So you gotta take care of it.
Take care of your car.
And it'll
Slow
take care of
down
you.
around curves. Don't you running over curbs. And stuff.
Well, that's what he there for. He's supposed to take care of you.
He ain't got time for that. That's what puts pressure on the relationship.
To take care of
Because he
the car, 'cause she
can't
won't
work
take
and do
care of
all
it.
that, and then you ain't taking care of your car.
Okay.
And try leaving the seat up sometimes in a relationship. He will appreciate you. I mean, he'll take you to another level.
How about he try cleaning the seat
Think
sometimes?
about it. If he just knew that you went into the restroom and you used it, and you took the time to leave it up for him. Don't sleep on this info. Don't sleep on this advice.
Oh, okay.
I try to keep them straight.
Don't sleep on it.
That's gonna save your marriage. Hold the
Yes,
seat up.
he gonna take you to the next level. He'll
Okay.
take you to Dubai if
What
you do
else,
it.
G?
I guarantee it.
What else?
Oh, okay.
And I said this once before, and ladies thought I was crazy, and some ladies agreed, but a lot of people thought it just wasn't they couldn't do it. But if you think about it, you got to do it. Like I said, you know how women dress up for work? They get up early, they do their hair, they put on their makeup, put on their tight skirt, they nice sexy clothes, they go to the office, and then they come home, they throw the shoes off, they take the tight dress off, they
Put on some
take the makeup off,
sweats.
throw on some sweats, put on a head rag, and now he
That's
looking
what
at
he got
you
to look at.
crazy like that.
Now, I think that's a good one. Now, I agree with that one.
Go to work, bare minimum. You ain't got to wear makeup to work, don't wear it to work. Just do your hair, put it back in a ponytail, wear some flats, some church slacks, 2-piece pantsuit.
Church slacks.
Come home, put on your mini skirt, fix your hair, put your makeup on, put your heels on, and go in there and do whatever. Get on the computer, walk in the kitchen, and watch your husband be like, yeah.
Where you not? He gonna be like, where you going?
Nah, she
Yeah.
gonna be like, nowhere.
I did this for you.
And once she say
Daddy.
nowhere, and he like, man, that's the way it's supposed to be. Y'all dressing up for the wrong people.
So when y'all come to Brick House,
Brick house ain't no job.
But
It's my
still, when you leave
It's
in the
my job.
house,
Well, don't put on no makeup this week, Lotus. Go home and do it.
For who?
I'm just telling y'all, ladies, y'all doing that backwards. You're doing that backwards. Dress up when you get home.
I actually can hear. I hear you on that though, for real.
Dress up when you
I
get
do.
home. Like he want to see you nice.
But I want to
instead of-
be. But you want to be comfortable at home though. But I get you though. Sometimes
come
I do
home
think-
and boom,
Yeah.
and then get comfortable.
I get that. I understand that. I can
Try
roll
it.
with that.
Just try it. Your
I can
man
roll
gonna
with
be
that.
like, oh man.
Try it, Solar, and tell us what happened.
He'll take you to Disney World. I'm telling you.
I mean, I ain't married. That's a dude. So no. Okay.
no comment.
Okay.
No
All right.
comment.
I tried. Let's go. What we got?
That's it.
The show is over.
God bless y'all.
Is the
Good
show?
night.
You talking about that's it? Is the
It's
show
God
over?
bless y'all. Thank you for
time.
coming.
It's time to
Good
go
night.
home.
All right, so let's talk about something that we had already been talking about and clearly don't none of us know about it.
Oh my
How you
god.
gonna get through this subject?
I don't
What
know.
right idea was this?
I mean, I think
Y'all want to talk about voting real quick?
who has the most wisdom?
Current events. That's voting.
Oh, and we also were supposed to, yeah.
Talk
go
about
ahead.
what? Voting.
Yeah.
Today was it.
I know.
Local elections.
I know.
Solar missed it. I can already tell by this
I
energy. It hit me all.
But she always does, so don't give her no hard
always
time.
does what? Miss it?
No, she votes.
Oh, this was a huge one.
Yeah, it was big.
It's big. Local. This is
know.
where the rubber meets
This
the
was a big
road.
one.
The local election. So my
This is a big
nephew
one.
was on the
Did
ballot
y'all vote?
for the governor of Texas, the first brother ever.
The one
So
that
I'm proud
came
of
on the
him.
show?
Yes, that was today.
Man.
So
I tried though. I tried to make it, and the lady told me, "You supposed to go vote over here."
in
and
your
I was,
own district,
And I was like, "Where is that?"
you can vote early anywhere, but on that day,
The election that you
Gotta
gotta
go
go
to
to
your-
that location.
I
Yeah.
know. I wish I would have just did early voting, but I tried
me
to
too.
go.
But it wasn't.
Then she told
a
me the
lot of
wrong
people
street,
where I went.
and I only had 10 minutes to make it there. And
As
I'm
long
sure
as you tried so long,
I was like, I just feel really horrible.
as long
about
as
it,
you
though.
went.
I had a bad attitude.
I mean,
ain't
it's
gonna lie.
like going through a haunted house. When you pull up for that parking
Man.
lot. Not mean the people are scary, but they gonna be. I had
Have to.
like 25 flyers when I walked through the door. I'm like,
They're
okay,
trying to convince you
okay,
who to vote for.
okay. All
You're
right,
such a nice guy. I'd have been like, I'm good.
I took them all. I'm
Yeah,
like,
no,
okay.
I'd be like,
nice.
I don't want, like, what am I doing with all of this? I
Right.
ain't finna read this.
But if
and
you
vote.
think about it, if you don't really know the candidates, you going when you get that ballot, you're gonna be like, oh, I heard that name.
Yes,
Oh, they mentioned that
yes.
name out there.
That's right.
So,
well, you
Real.
probably won't know all of them. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure you'll know a few.
But that is name recognition, though. Like that's the power
that's the,
of
and that's
marketing.
the final image. If you ain't,
That's the last thing you got
you don't
in
know
your mind.
specifically
Oh.
who you're voting for. Like it's gonna be a lot of
And
races.
then you
that,
saw
and somebody
a
handed you that
flyer
flyer. Oh, I
that
just-
said,
You know what? A lady, as soon as you pull up in the parking lot, she was right there with the shirt of the person she was representing, waving and smiling. Hey, at every single car.
yeah.
So naturally, you look at her, you read her shirt, and you're like, oh, that's the last, like you said, it's the last name.
Last image.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Or
So that's
imagery
some
that you
power,
see.
though.
But I heard the Democrats showing up. Trump is going to single-handedly ruin the Republican Party.
Yeah, he is. He really literally is.
He's right there.
And what's so crazy is...
And it's their fault.
They are letting him do this. And not just ruin the Republican Party, but he will go down in history for the worst president.
Yes, yes.
Like, that is
not in
the
America
goal.
on the planet.
That is not the goal, to be the worst.
And, you know, some of the people in the Republican Party are resigning instead of, like, you know, standing up against it. Yeah.
Well, they just don't want to deal with him no more because he's going to do what he want to do. And they don't want to be associated with that.
Yeah, but at some point, like, somebody got to stand up and be like, hey, we can't allow you to do this.
And that's
the problem.
American
they're not
people
doing it.
Need to be doing that. Victor just called. I think he might be here. Anyway, I just had to touch on that. I hope you went and voted. If not, catch the next one.
When is the next one?
November.
A long time from now.
It's still midterms though, so it's still relevant to where you live.
Well, now I know.
And now we just got to get him out.
And I'm just so used to early voting that I just went to the place that I just normally go. That's close, you know, that's really close.
I actually did too, and I'm like, I don't see 1,000 people standing out here with signs. I know this ain't right.
Man, it was all close. I just walked right on through. She scanned my ID. I believe that lady told me the wrong plate, like the wrong cross street on purpose.
But a lot of people have that has happened.
Yeah, I believe she did that on purpose because I just sped out of there. I'm like, y'all get in the car, and I just drove like straight. You know what I'm saying? I did. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, get in the car. My son tried to open the door for us. I'm like, don't open the door. Get in the car. Right? Like we got 10 minutes. Let's go.
But you didn't make it in. You was yelling at the babies. It wasn't their fault.
I know. But I was mad.
There wasn't nobody else to blame.
I was so mad that I had to listen to like something.
Let me go see if this dude downstairs.
Okay.
The whole way.
All right, so
we can talk about
what?
Why G gone?
Okay.
We can talk about. Wait till he close the door. Close the door.
Now he watching.
I know. Did he just?
He petty.
We can talk about Black Panther. We can talk about Black Panther. No, we can't do that without G.
Well, hopefully he'll go see it.
I know.
But so the topic tonight is relationships, and I think that it's really a topic we talk about all the time on our Wednesday night show. Personally, I try to stay away from it. I really do, because I feel like the world has this fake image of what a relationship is supposed to be. And because of that, if it doesn't look like that, we feel like we failed. And then a lot of times we just fall off and we just give up.
What do you mean? You mean you stay away from talking about it, or do you stay away from
No, I'm talking about, I mean the conversation.
Yeah. I don't like necessarily having a conversation about relationships, because people are different, and your experience may be different from my experience, and what you may do, you know, so you really can't, there's no cookie cutter way, or, you know, just there's no one solid advice, you know what I'm saying, that you can give people. You can say all the generic stuff like communication and support one another, and don't, you know, allow people to infiltrate your family, or you know, or whatever, you know, whatever all of those cliche things is that people say. But is it realistic?
I see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You want that one him?
Yeah, but he was lost.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna text me.
Okay.
So
What are we talking about?
How we don't like to talk about relationships.
Y'all don't like to talk about relationships? I thought all women like to talk about relationships.
I mean, I don't want to give anybody no advice. Like I think we need the media, you know what I'm saying, the people that's watching to kind of chime in, and
the audience.
Like, this is a group. You know what I'm saying?
We can't hold this one down. This is so funny how
I can hold it down. Y'all scared?
Yes.
Ask me something.
Okay.
What's
wrong with the relationships? Why do they?
Why they end up falling apart?
Because we get dressed up for work and not home.
That's one reason.
Yeah, and because the toilet seat up.
The foundation wasn't right. It's all about the foundation. It's how you started it. What I mean, was it? You know what I'm saying? You meet him in a club or one night stand. Oh, you just liked him for that one moment.
Do you think that?
Got pregnant.
Do you think that
you got to have a good foundation.
Do you
to start.
think where you meet the individual really does have a lot to do with it?
You mean
Where you
geographically?
Like you just said, did you meet him in a club? Did you meet him?
Location?
No, I
don't
think that's
so.
a myth. Like, I think you can meet your soulmate in a club. I think you can meet your soulmate anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can meet a lot of wrong people.
Mm-hmm. Anywhere though.
Anywhere. So what's your foundation?
I think one of my biggest challenges is okay, so we kind of dealt with this probably 2 years ago. I don't think we did since we've been in this building. But the deal breakers.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
People will sleep with people before they know what they're about, or you know what I'm saying? You'll sleep with somebody and you could possibly get pregnant, have
you
a
don't
child,
even know this
and you really don't even know the person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's all sexual.
I think casual
That's
sex
part of the
is
problem.
very risky. I really do. Because
You got the. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well, just for different reasons. One reason that it's risky is, of course, the physical aspect, but two, it's exactly that. Getting involved with individuals who you really don't know. You know what I mean? Like, and then most of the time when that happens, it goes bad.
Yeah.
But you already entangled and involved, and I just don't think people reverence their bodies enough.
That's a whole nother topic.
I don't.
Right there, because
You have to ask yourself, if you're really trying to find somebody to be with, you got to ask yourself. First of all, you got to try to see if you can just have a relationship without sex.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to ask yourself, could I deal with this person?
And see, that right there is so important. Your point A is so important, to get to know somebody and develop a relationship outside of sex, because that lets you know what do we have in common, more so than just the physical attraction. Because once you're done with that, now what?
well, you don't think that there are some people that's probably been married for 25, 30 years that probably had a one-night stand or probably had sex early in their relationship?
I do.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
an exception
so-
to every
I
rule.
do.
So
But that's not the norm.
But how valid is that?
But so Lord, whatever we say, it's not going to be everybody.
100%
It's going to be always some
Exceptions to the rule.
But I guarantee you that ain't the rule, and that ain't.
I'm not saying that it's the rule. I just think that it can go. I just don't think that there's just one, specific thing you can do or not do to make.
I agree. Or
know,
break.
But I guarantee you,
Yeah.
if I'm just saying, if you're not looking for a relationship
It don't
to
matter
last, then it don't matter. But if you are, and if it's based on sex, and it ain't, because think about it, sex don't last unless you two like jackrabbits. Sex don't
It's not-
last.
exactly. You got to know that you can.
Yeah.
It don't last
compensate.
that long. Like
Right.
not long enough for you to
develop
be
a
with
life
this person
somebody.
every day. Like, okay, sex is wonderful, but the
Well-
other 23 hours and 45 minutes, I don't like you.
Well, I do think sex kind of clouds your vision or your judgment. You're not able to assess the person, you know what I'm saying, like you would have if you were solely just focused on like having conversations and all of that stuff. I do think sex will cloud your judgment and have you just more so focused on the sex, you know?
Right. And then, but you can't have sex all day, every day. It's gonna
There's
come
gotta
a
be
time
something
when
else to the relationship.
it's got to be some substance.
Okay,
so I think that's
so-
where most people go wrong. They don't have any substance with the person who they're trying to have a relationship with, but they're in a relationship, and then they wonder why it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
You never had a foundation.
Okay,
That's
so
my opinion.
Don't have don't have sex. So what's the longest
What
that
you
you
mean?
should wait?
I don't think that
Then you
there
have
is a
to go
set
by
of
the-
rules.
I don't think it's a set time.
I just think that you have to be.
But that shouldn't be your main focus.
I think
as
that-
you get older, you realize it can't be.
I think you have to find ways to really just get to know people in different settings. Like, you have to know who you are and the things that are important to you and the things that you want out of your relationship. So if you are a person that goes to church, you probably need to know if they're going to fit into that. If they believe like you do or worship like you do, so you might need to do that. If you're a person that loves going to the play, the theater, you probably need to see if they're on that same level. Not that I don't think that you guys have to do everything together.
Right.
But the things that are important, like for me, I'm so community. So I can't mix good with somebody who that's not a priority for them.
They
I
don't
just
care
can't.
what happens.
Right, because they're stuck in me and my world and just the people that I am directly connected to. But I care about the well-being of the community. Now, that's not a right or a wrong. That's just for me. So an individual who cannot try, now they don't have to be as intense as I am in that, but if it's not important to them at all, I don't know how far we can go, because it's so much a part of my life and my conversation, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
I couldn't be with a selfish person, somebody who's a taker.
So y'all are naming y'all deal breakers.
Oh, I got
Really?
a bunch of deal breakers. But I'm just saying, somebody who's like a selfish person or individual inside. I couldn't, like, I'm too giving to be with somebody selfish. It's got to be somebody who is a giver as well. Because if they're going to be on the take, I'm going to be on the run. That's just... Because
then you feel like that's what their agenda is, because they can detect the fact that you're a giver and they're a taker, so that's slick. That's an opportunity for them.
Right.
And your giving can be in different ways. So it may be
they don't have
that,
to give like I give.
Right. Or even the what, like, or it doesn't have to match. Like, you got to get to know the essence of a person. And I feel like the reason that so many relationships are in trouble is because people, one, give up too quick. They're not willing to put in the work. And relationships are work. Relationships are work if it is intimacy between a man and a woman, between friends. I mean, I have to work for the relationships that are important to me. Your children, like a lot of the relationships that you see falling off, it's because we're not investing anything into those relationships. And sometimes we got to look in the mirror and say, okay, I really should have done better in this area, for real.
I feel like relationships don't work because, for one, there's no respect. For, like, people don't necessarily respect your relationship, you know, like other people. And when you're in a relationship, you have to carry yourself in a way to make people respect it. You know what I mean?
So,
like,
but you can't blame the people who don't respect it.
I'm not. Well, but I'm not necessarily,
because they shouldn't be able to influence.
Well, I think
if you have a strong relationship,
well, yeah,
outsiders shouldn't be able.
Well, that's why
shouldn't
I say.
be.
Well, that's why I say you got to carry yourself in a way to where people kind of know that, you know, you can't infiltrate
it's
this,
a line
you can't
right
break
here.
this. But I think people just gotta, like, their value on, you know, of a relationship, like they don't have it. They don't respect
But it's not.
it.
It's not up to the people.
Well,
It's up to you and your mate.
Yeah, but
to put your boundaries out. It ain't up to them. It's up to you to say, hey, we are one on this, and here's our line, and you can't cross that. You can't.
you don't get to come over here.
You don't get to do that.
I
because
understand that, but
if one is weak and allowing that, then your
problem.
Your problem is with that person. It ain't with them.
And that's the one that's in a relationship
But I
with
still
you.
think that I still think that people, like outside people, should just respect
I agree.
the union. Period.
But I agree.
do.
But when they don't, then what?
Well,
But whose fault is it?
It's your union. It ain't
If
their
it- if
union.
it-
I mean,
impacts.
I don't blame them. I'm just saying people as a whole, like
Don't
the
respect
world,
relationships.
yeah, they just don't respect
I agree.
relationships.
If there, let's
I agree,
for an
for real.
example, let's say you and your husband, and there's this guy who's not respecting him,
Your
but he
husband.
don't know it. It's up to you to say, hey, bro.
Well, of course.
Like-
I mean, I know that the responsibility relies.
And then if you can't do it, then you need to say, hey, man,
on the
you need
two
to check
people,
this dude.
you know what I'm saying, who are in a relationship. But I think ultimately, I mean, you can, like, somebody can catch a man or a woman at their weak, because relationships are going to
I
have
agree.
weak
And they're
moments.
vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are, you're going to have a break somewhere where you have to recover or recoup from that, and the right person, you know, with the gift of gab, charisma, whatever.
But what if they don't know that you're just on a break? What if they think that
it's not necessarily a break. You just in a rough.
But I'm
rough
saying
I hear
ride.
what both of y'all saying, though.
I'm saying, but what if that person, that outside person, is like, well, you know, I'm gonna see if I can get a chance to know this person, and they may wanna Because divorces happen every day, so you can't just say
But that's
they're
the
married, they're gonna
lack
stay
of. But that's
married.
the. But still, though, if you know that somebody is in a committed relationship, there are lines that you shouldn't cross. Like,
But it's up
just-
to that person.
I agree with that, but at the same time, to me, it speaks a lot about the character of the individual too. That if he or she knows that this individual is involved, and they're willing to anyway, you know what I'm saying, see if they can pull. To me, that's shady, and that's when you talk about the foundation of the relationship. If you leave this one and go over there, that is the foundation of the relationship.
Right.
That means that you were
Yeah.
willing to compromise your relationship with this individual for something else, and then that is who you are. So 9 times out of 10, you're gonna do the same thing again
Exactly.
with the next
Yeah,
individual.
but still, you got to take some on.
I agree with that. I don't think
We're gonna let our
it's
guest
okay.
I'm taking ownership. I mean, I'm talking about I'm taking, but I'm saying that the people involved in a relationship, of course, ultimately it's on you.
Right.
But outside, like people, like women, purposely, talk to married men,
Right.
and vice versa,
Or just men that are involved, period, and they know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, but that's like their target, and but it goes, men do the same thing. So it's almost like, I don't know. It's just kind of shameful.
What does that
because
say to you about those individuals?
I just feel like they don't have no morals or no values, and maybe they've been heartbroken before, so they don't care, about the next person or their relationship or whatever it is. But I definitely can't trust them.
So, who you talking about? The other person?
I'm talking about people who, people who are willing to like,
Involve themselves with somebody who's
Yeah.
involved.
yeah. You can't really trust those people. And then another thing that I think, and this is just a personal thing for me. Personal for me is that,
Hey,
hi.
how are ya?
Well, what's going? Didn't I see you earlier today?
Not earlier, but you saw me somewhere before. But I just like
Welcome
lying.
to HighVibe.
Hey, gorgeous.
Hey, handsome.
You sure I didn't see you earlier today?
No, you didn't see me earlier today.
So we were
I
just
think-
still talking about the same subject, but Solar was just giving her take on individuals that involve themselves with individuals that are involved. So what were you saying?
I was saying that another thing that's really kind of personal to me is just lying. Like people who are not honest. And I can't, those people can't be trusted either, because when you're involved in a relationship, you need to be able, like, this is a person that you're trusting with your life and with your future. From a
Right.
female's perspective, when you get with a guy, and you marry him, like, this person is the head and they are in charge, so they are
Right.
leading the family. But if you are a liar, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can you lead? Like, how can
That's
I
true.
trust you to lead?
Right.
And that's kind of like a personal thing.
But at
for
what
me.
point would you, like, for example, that situation, there had to be some signs before that the person was a liar, or maybe they were just that good. But if you had those signs that you were dealing with a liar, you started off without a foundation because you accepted the liar,
Well,
and now you like, why are you lying?
I think people got this thing with big lie, little lie, and so if somebody,
Like in the White House, a little white lie.
yeah,
Yeah,
like that
whatever.
whole concept of a little white lie, like a lie is a lie. But I think that it's kind of way like, well, he just went to the store even though he said he didn't go anywhere or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you really gonna trip about that? So you're gauging it in your mind, like, well, it's not really important. But what happens is that this person may end up lying about something that is important, or and you know what I'm saying. So now you're kind of stuck in this situation with a freaking habitual liar.
So let's bring our guest in. Vic, I got a question for you. This is Victor Johnson of Victor
Welcome.
Johnson Enterprises. I go down, well, first of all, I go down there, and this joke is already in the building, right? I'm like, how'd you get in? You know what his answer was?
What?
I'm Vic Johnson. I'm like, what does that mean? Are you a janitor? You got a key? What that mean?
So typical.
But anyway, Vic, I got a question for you. So we basically talking about how relationships are different now than they were. I think sort of something like that. No,
Well,
is that what the topic is?
the topic at hand, yeah. But right now we're dealing with. But go ahead.
We're dealing with what? I'll bring him in on that. What are we dealing with right now?
We're dealing with. Well, I guess we was talking about like our deal breakers and what.
Well, they asked me
things.
why I think relationships, a lot of relationships don't work, and I said foundation. What's your take on that?
Why relationships don't work?
Yeah, more these days than before.
I think you expect more. You expect more than it's time to be expected. I mean, relationships have to grow. I mean, things happen at a certain time, and when you're expecting things to be a certain way, it may not be time for your relationship to be that way.
And see that I think that's part of, and I think he may be going here. He can correct me if I'm wrong. Like, you may be having sex, and it ain't time for sex in a relationship.
Right.
So you done put the cart before the horse already.
Or you may
then
fall
you
in love.
realize that's all he got or she got is sex. She ain't really got.
But you
nothing
didn't take the
else.
time to get to know him
Didn't take
before
the time
that.
to get to know
Unless
that
that's
person.
just where you are in life. You're not looking for nothing. You ain't looking for no commitment, no relationship. Then you got to be comfortable with the choices that you make. But
That other person needs to know that though. Hey, I ain't looking for nothing.
Well,
But
then
what
now
y'all
we
got
on
to
communication.
understand, what you have to understand, you're never looking for a commitment or relationships. They come. I mean, you meet somebody.
A lot of women are looking.
Well, they look.
why is it
okay.
to be women? You don't think men do?
Okay.
I think more women are than men. I ain't saying no men.
So
I ain't saying
abnormal.
men aren't. I ain't saying that. I'm saying that more women are. I think.
What'd you say, Vic?
I think you're putting too much pressure on a relationship. I think when you meet somebody, commitment comes. You both automatically know when it's time to commit. You automatically know this is what's
I don't know
happening.
about that.
What if
This
one
is-
automatically thinks they ready and the other
And the
one?
other one's like, "What are you?
feel
What's
like
wrong
they
with you?"
not.
Well, he might be fighting it, but he knows it's there. I mean, she knows it's there. I mean,
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Oh,
I just think
Men are from hell. Women
I
are
just
from
think
heaven.
people to put too much pressure on meeting somebody and having a relationship. This is what I want. This is how I want to do it. It happens. It happens. If it don't, it don't.
I can agree with that though. Actually, I just feel like in that we really have to do a better job of getting to know people. Like, I just feel like that is one of the biggest issues. Like, when I look back over my life and my relationships and things like that, like, I know that I did not take the time that I should have to really, really, really get to know this individual like I should when I'm willing to commit my life to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, or I'm even the type, even my body, because I just don't feel like everybody deserves, and they're not going to. And you know what I'm saying? But that's because this is all I have.
Selfish.
I am selfish. I surely is selfish when it comes to this.
women are supposed to be selfish with their body.
Men are too, though. Men are too.
Should be.
They're not going to be, but they should be.
Yeah.
Another.
See, I really don't think it's as
white and black.
this set of rules
Cut.
for men
Right.
and this for
I agree.
ladies.
I
I
agree
think
with you.
that men
I
should
think
slow
that-
down and stop jumping
Right.
from
I
bed
think
to bed.
a lot of men rebound and don't know it. I actually think men rebound harder. Meaning, you know how sometimes a woman won't be over this relationship. She may take a little time before she moves on. Some men will go, this one ended, or boom, just like that.
But in relationships or just involving with people?
Relationships. Sometimes they'll overlap.
Yeah.
What makes
And-
y'all think men jump from bed to bed? What gives you that impression that they do that?
I
That they
can-
can't say no.
I can go Well, I don't know that they
I ain't
can't.
never
on, man,
heard
is
a
that
man.
the- you
I
really
ain't
wanna
never
have that
heard a man
argument?
say no.
Now you stepping.
I'm just asking a question. What makes y'all think men jump from bed to bed?
We're not saying all men. I'm sure she's not.
I'm just
What you mean? I'm sure she died.
I'm sure she's not saying that.
I'm not.
Nah, I ain't saying.
I'm
What
not.
percentage are you saying men jump from bed to bed?
I don't have any percentages, but this is what I can tell you.
Way
Based
more
on-
than women.
Based on my own
You
experience.
think so? Way more than women?
Yeah, I think so.
Based on my own experience, that's all I know. That's all I know is, which is crazy because the way that I life that as I knew it, I thought that this fairy tale was a reality, but it was really not reality. So it really blew my mind when I realized, wait, what? It's really not one man for every one woman? Because that's all I knew. You know, my daddy been gone 11 years, and I have yet to hear anything about either of my parents knowing anyone other than the two. But they got married really young, 18 and 20, but they made it. So in my mind, that's how it was, because that's what I saw growing up. But Lord,
Do you think your dad was only with one woman his whole life?
I will believe what he said and what they told me, because nobody has ever said anything different and brought anything different
Well,
to me.
you've experienced life through your many years of being on this earth.
But I don't think the answer is yes. I do think,
You
but
think he was this unique man that only did this perfect life?
I didn't say that.
Mm.
I didn't say anything
I'm
close
just
to that.
But see,
I'm just answering you.
but what you're doing, because you said, why do you think men?
Yeah, he kind of went
Yeah.
both sides of the fence a little bit
Yeah, like
without saying it.
I
He's
was
like,
both sides of, you mean
Because you
made it seem like
all men don't.
men, like, what make y'all
Like-
think men do that?
Right.
And then you saying
jumping
you think
from
you
bed to bed to bed is a lot different than what you're talking
yeah,
about.
but
Yeah,
Jumping
you're
from
right.
Bed to bed to bed to bed. That's a lot
versus
different.
does she think he was with just anybody?
Another
just
woman.
Just with. Do you actually think your dad was just with one woman his whole life?
I do.
Okay.
And I'm okay with that. But here's a problem, and that's a
After
very.
everything you've seen in life
But listen, let
and
me
all
tell.
the men that you've met.
well, and then but
Is
we're in
that
a
what
different
you actually
time
think?
too.
But this is
Which
what
is
I'm
what-
saying. I think it is such a horrible. I think it is such a horrible yet a huge statement to think contrary. Like, it's not even possible
Right.
for one man and one woman to come together and that's all they know. And that is a sad reality that I'm not willing to accept. And even if it wasn't my parents, I have to believe that there are some people that know how to be committed and loyal to each other. I have to believe that.
I think there's a lot of people that feel like that, though. I think there's a lot of people that feel like, one man and one woman can be together, and that can be the only person,
Yeah,
together.
I
Like, I
believe
think
that.
a lot of people feel like that, and I think when going into a relationship, that's what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like in the beginning, like that's what you're
So you
hoping to
believe
get.
in 100% loyalty and 100% commitment. That's what you're saying.
That's what she should be.
I
but
feel
I'm
like
just
that's
asking
what
you.
you
Looking
should.
for.
You should
What
have
if
high.
life is
Striving
100%
You should have
loyalty?
high expectations for that. You know what I'm saying? For that idea.
But that's where the foundation, that's what goes back to the foundation. If you don't have the right foundation with this person, then whatever is lacking could cause somebody to stray. And it don't have to be sex. It can be the fact that you don't like to do anything your spouse or significant
It's just
other
imbalance
does.
in the
It's like-
relationship. Everything we do has to be what you want to do.
yeah, and that can
Yeah.
cause just friction and could cause any one of
You
them
all
to
really
stray.
think that's a reality?
What?
100% commitment and 100% loyalty.
That's
Y'all
the
think-
goal.
I think
I'm
there's
just
some
asking a
people,
question.
but
You
I think
that's-
I
It
think
sounds.
that-
You
It's
haven't
reality.
said anything yet, but it sounds like you're saying it's probably
Impossible.
impossible.
It is
Well,
impossible.
but there
I don't
are
think
some
Nothing
relationships.
100%.
No, we're not saying perfect, but you saying like
see,
there's
I
no.
didn't say, and I think that's really horrible. Like, I didn't say it was perfect. I didn't say I have a whole lot of horror stories growing up, but what I don't have is images of them arguing and fighting. I don't have images of that. I don't have images of the drama in the household. I don't have images of other women and other men.
Right.
I don't know that. And I think that that's a good, but I didn't say my life was perfect. That's not what I said.
Not your life.
Well, you said 100%.
I'm talking about theirs.
Well, that's my life, but their life was my life. So, okay, I know that this is what I'm saying. I know that their marriage wasn't perfect. I lived through it. So I know it wasn't perfect. There were issues. But for some reason, I was blessed enough to grow up in a household, and I don't want to take that image from our children that yes, you can. There are people out here that can be committed to relationships and to their families and make the right decisions. That doesn't mean that they don't make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Yeah. But I refuse to be one of those individuals that doesn't think that it's possible. One, because I lived it, and two, because I don't think that all people are. But I also have a different philosophy because I think it's okay. I don't want to
say it. Say it, Lois.
You've been wanting me to say it like in public for about 3-4 years.
Say it.
Okay, go ahead.
Can't say it.
I just think that people. I don't think that you should lower your expectations or lower the expectations of others. You know, like your children, your daughters, and stuff like that. I think they should always strive for for that perfect person. Like, I know there's no such thing as perfect, but in their eyes, in their eyes, like they should strive for that person that's uniquely designed for them.
Right. You're right.
Well, let me tell y'all something, man. These women stick with men, and these men stick with the women. All their mistakes and all of what they do through their lives, they stick with each other. That's all it is. Ain't neither one of them living no 100% perfect life.
Nobody said that.
You keep saying that.
Why you forcing this point? Ain't nobody you debating something in your own head because we didn't say it.
I think what you just won't bring yourself to say is a man can't be faithful in a relationship. I think that's what you want to say, but
is that what you're trying to say?
I ain't trying to say nothing.
Well, you
can't come on a talk show and don't try to say nothing.
Right.
And you got to say something.
Right.
I don't think no man is 100% perfect. I'll put it to you like
that.
Say, bro, you want to come back on a perfect show?
Because it ain't gonna be the Back of the Bear.
It ain't this one.
It ain't this one.
We don't even talk about perfect on this show.
I'm just telling you, there's no 100% perfect men.
Well, there's no perfect.
They don't make.
Did you leave a bar and come here, sir?
They don't make them.
Take your headphones off.
It's not.
Because you ain't hearing us.
It's not even in this world.
I'm so confused.
What do you call perfect?
Huh?
Who said the word?
But let's break down his perfect in his mind because he ain't gonna let it go. What do you call perfect?
What do I call perfect?
Yes, because you keep saying perfect.
This Alice in Wonderland fairy tales, Cinderella story she just got through saying.
She said they had issues.
That is so offensive.
Only thing she said.
She has a lot of horror stories, but
she didn't say anything about a perfect fairy tale Cinderella. She just said they had issues, but that wasn't one.
Okay.
So he's just stuck on sex.
I'm not stuck on
his
sex.
Perfect in his mind is sex.
No, my perfect in my mind is not sex.
It's got to be.
I don't get it, though.
She didn't say perfect.
I didn't say that.
She didn't say perfect. I didn't say perfect. You said perfect.
So,
but she said they had issues. Everybody has issues.
Everybody does.
Solar say the perfect, like, person for her, not perfect person.
Okay.
So what is one of your deal breakers, like, in a relationship? Like, what would be a deal breaker for you?
As far as me dealing with a female?
Yeah.
Unless you deal with males.
I was expecting.
What would be a deal breaker?
I was waiting on that.
Actually, a deal breaker for each individual female is different.
No, but
what are yours?
Like,
yours, Victor Johnson.
I'm talking about.
What will you not put up with?
There's only one thing that I wouldn't put up with.
Let's have it.
That's a female calling the police on me. That would be the only thing.
Okay. That's your deal breaker. That's your deal breaker. She called the police. I'm out.
It's over. We'll never get another conversation from me again in my life.
Oh, she tried to take your freedom.
How about you not do nothing for the call police on you? Is that an option? Or just call?
What you be doing to make women want to call the police?
How could that be a deal breaker?
Has that ever happened before? Like somebody called the police on you?
For it to be a deal breaker, it gotta be.
I ain't never heard nobody say that in a that is so funny.
Because each individual female have their own transgressions. I mean, it's not a deal. You can't have a deal breaker for one woman and have the same deal breaker for another woman. Huh?
No, we're not saying that. We're just saying.
Do you got?
No, we're just saying.
I'm just messing with you.
No, we're just saying.
I'll use some of your
We don't.
favorites.
We don't.
Say, Vic. So, okay, let me ask you this: do you think relationships now are different from those, let's say, 30, 40 years ago?
Actually, no, I don't.
You don't? You still think nothing's changed, status quo?
Actually, the same problems they had in relationships back then is the same problems they have in now. It's just looked at differently. That's all.
I can kind of see that. Like, they may be up under a different disguise. Like, we have slavery and then modern day slavery with the prison system. Like, maybe it's like that because it's like relationship 2.0 now.
I think it's easier. I think these days it's easier for people to have to be to violate.
It's more accepted.
Trust.
It's more.
I think it's easier. Like you can, like back in the day, you couldn't have. There was no texting, right?
Yeah,
so you would have to
be with
sneak in
your
the closet
woman.
or be in the bathroom. Now you can just be.
You could be with your woman and texting another woman, and her it's right here.
I think it's just more in social
That's what
media.
I'm
You just
saying.
got
It's just
women and men
Yeah.
out there. You got groups. It's like
you can see people from
it's like
every
at
you
your
know,
fingertips. Like, oh, I can
this
cheat,
person in California and
cheat.
you
Like,
can flirt. You know,
back in the day, it
but-
took more work. Now it's just so convenient that more people are doing it, and that's women as well.
Well, but
Cheating
if you
is cheating, no matter how you
Yeah,
do it.
but-
Right, but it's more. I think it's more convenient to
But
cheat.
listen to all the songs, like the old school songs where women was always talking about, you know, they men doing X, Y, and Z, and the men was always talking about
Doing X, Y, and Z.
right.
Shit.
So the songs back in those times
can I ask
suggested
you-
that there was a lot of cheating, infidelity going
Well,
on.
let me ask you a question. If you're thinking that you have to deal with a situation where a person that you're dealing with is cheating, maybe you have put your relationship on a certain level that it ain't there.
Say that again.
Maybe in your mind.
Say that first part again.
If you have a person that you're dealing with that you think is cheating,
Right.
and you got to check on them cheating, and you seeing them cheating, maybe you have put your relationship on a level that it ain't there.
So what we're doing
You
is
expecting
we're trying
something
to.
out of your relationship that ain't gonna happen. I mean, it's not there. You're
Well, but
losing
you know
to
how many?
yourself.
But you know how many relationships that is? Then that means that maybe 80-90% of the people that are in relationships have the wrong idea about their relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it like that? That don't even make sense to me. How could over half of relationships had a wrong idea about their relationship?
Well, if
at some point
Right.
something was said. Some commitments were made.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it was a lie or not, the person didn't know at the
Right.
time.
Say it. Commitment ain't made by what you say. It's by what you do.
No, I said at some point there was something that was said. Some commitments were made.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I totally
I'm
understand.
not saying that they said we're committed.
Right.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they said some things.
There was
like,
a shift in
I
the relationship.
Love you and
There was a shift.
yeah,
That took it to a different level.
yeah. So
Right, I get it.
I just don't think all of those people just
Make that up in their heads.
right.
Mhm.
I just don't think that's true.
I think they thinking this somewhere where your
But-
relationship
It
ain't
probably are some people that as a matter of fact, I know that there are.
Yeah,
I think more people on both sides now, men and women. I think for some reason the way media and social media and everything works together, I think it promotes this mirage that it's easy. Like I can beat what I'm doing now. I can easily beat it, and I think people are like thinking when they have any relationship issues. I think these days it seems like it's easier to top this or get out of this and do better over there because everything you can just see
It's
everything
worldwide. It's
everything's
the
at
world
your
wide web.
fingertips.
Yeah.
A better woman is doing this
In arm's reach,
you know,
and she
so
doing all of this, and she's that.
I think
and-
that's a mirage, and I think we're like in
How do you get around that though? Like, how do you? I mean, because if you have these expectations of what you want, you know what I'm saying, out of somebody, but yet they're in the back of your mind, you kind of know, or you've seen or experienced or whatever, that these things happen. It's real. It's tangible. And there's nothing you can really do about it. How do you get around that? Like, what is the formula? What is that one thing? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's at the beginning. It's like
the foundation.
We just have to at the beginning say, okay, I've done it this way all these other times. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to be totally honest. We are not going to sleep together. You just got to do something different to see if you can get a different result.
Do you think that texting has damaged relationships because it's more? It takes away from
the interpersonal.
You mean texting each other?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Opposed to conversations.
Yes and no.
I do. I think.
I say yes and no.
I think so. I think that if you're having important conversations that requires you to be face to face through a text message, that's like, I think that takes away a lot from the relationship.
But I'm gonna say this. I think you have to be with the person. Like, everybody doesn't like to talk. If you're a texter and you just happen to meet somebody who's okay with that, I think you'll work just fine. But if you're with somebody who's got to talk to you and you don't like to talk a lot, I ain't saying on the important stuff. I'm just saying communication wise. Like,
so there just needs to be
like,
a
I don't
balance.
have to call you five
know.
times a day. I can just, hey, what you doing? Blah blah blah. I'm doing.
Well, I ain't talking about that kind of texting. Look, a friend of mine.
What do you mean?
told
You
me,
mean like what?
I'm saying if you have like important conversations.
Oh yeah,
via
you
text,
got to have that.
Like, I'm not saying that texting period. Like, hey, I'm about to go to the store or whatever. What you want? Not.
Yeah.
I'm saying like real important conversations, or if you getting to know people and I mean just stuff that should be discussed personally.
But see, that's only if you're that person who thinks that. Because just like you think that needs to happen that way, you got a million other people who don't think it needs to happen that way. So you need to find you one of those.
Well, let me touch on the fact that you said you may have somebody that doesn't talk a lot. I was just having a conversation with someone yesterday about relationships per se. We weren't talking about relationships, but kind of, sort of. But what they said to me was, you got to appeal, because we were talking about people that's not very communicated in a relationship, right? And they said, well, that doesn't make sense to me. That's ridiculous, because, you have to appeal to a person's five senses. Like, you have to, you know what I'm saying? So maybe it's a touch, you know what I'm saying? Or you saying I love you when you looking at them in their eyes, or maybe it's a kiss or whatever it is, but you have to appeal to all their five senses, which is what? Touch, feel, hear, smell, and what else?
Taste.
And taste. And they were saying something about, when you put on perfume or cologne and you approach that person, the first thing that they smell, or they notice,
they inhale your scent.
Yeah, they smell you. And then y'all are talking, and there's all of these different things, and I may not be quoting them, exactly, but what they said to me was so profound. I was like, wow, I never thought about that.
Yeah,
so the fact that you're not a communicator, how can you be in a relationship if you don't communicate? Like, if your communication skills are low.
Well,
how does that work?
I think just like texting has hurt some relationships, I think it's actually helped. And the reason I say that is, and me, for one, was always a person who wasn't just going to tell you, I love you and I apologize, and I wasn't going to do that. It just ain't, I wasn't raised like that. That just ain't me. But I could do it. I could find myself doing it in a text. So you may get more out of me that way. Like, sometimes I'll express how I feel without saying it. Nah, it ain't wrong, it ain't right. It's just me. So for some people, texting works. Like, it's just like somebody writing you a letter.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes you can't tell somebody what you really
But you
feel,
can
but
write
you can
it.
write a letter?
Get it down,
Texting
get it out.
is sort of like that.
I'm not condemning texting. I'm just saying that doesn't need to be the only form of
I agree.
communication.
Oh, no, I don't think
You know what
I
I
was
mean?
just wondering the thoughts. What do you think, Vic?
I think y'all pushing the relationship way too quick. Take your time and find out what click with both of you. I mean,
Well, that's what Lotus said.
I mean, just take your time. I mean, quit trying to make it be something that it's not yet.
But we ain't
At
talking
that
about
level.
that right now.
Oh,
You answering something 20 minutes ago. We talking about, unless you weren't listening.
I'm listening to totally what you're saying. I mean,
How do you feel about communication in a relationship?
your
Do
communication.
you think
my communication
texting hurts
with-
it? Do
no,
you think?
my communication with her would be different than my communication with her or with any other one?
Can you answer this question?
I'm answering.
No, answer my question, not the question that's in your head. Can you answer this question? Do you think that texting hurts a relationship, or is it
Enhance
okay?
it.
Does it, what do you think about a person who would text
It
versus
depends
talking?
on the individual.
I agree with that.
It doesn't work for everybody.
Right.
You have to adjust. You have to adjust to what you're doing.
I agree with
Oh,
that.
so you tell it? Wait, I just can't wrap my head around this. So are
I
you?
may love texting you. I may not. I may hate texting her.
Well, then why even communicate with her if you hate or whatever? Like,
He
why?
might-
It may be another way for us to communicate.
I understand that.
I get that.
I do. I
Actually,
understand that.
I actually-
There are some people that I don't talk to on the phone at all.
But we're talking about
And then there
intimate
are
relationships.
relationships. Period. Okay, even just
Intimate,
period.
any
I
other.
do think that you have to learn how to communicate with your partner, and I think that that's something that you learn as time goes, which is another reason you got to take your time and learn the individual to see. Because I agree, I don't think that there is a cookie cutter way of doing things. I just think that we have to find out in this huge world who I can match with. Like, there are, for example, this is switching from texting. There are some people who understand people are not going to be faithful. There are men and women that understand that. So find that body of individuals, and then that's where you mix. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's what polygamy is. Polygamy is not necessarily wrong. It's just not for everybody. It's just not. It's just not for everybody. But for some people, it is a very effective way of life. And who's to say those individuals are not happier than some of individuals who like to make up these fairy tale stories that you know what's going on in your relationship. You know he or she or both are cheating. So if you know this and you've accepted this in your head, but you want to deny it, but you really know that it's true, you accepted it anyway.
I think
So why can't you just bring your life to the forefront and do what you're comfortable doing?
I totally, I always
Yes.
been right
I
there
know
with what
for-
you're saying.
yes,
But
4 years.
But
Yes.
Yeah.
But here's the twist. I think the twist is, if you're already in a relationship and that ain't the foundation that you got other women,
It ain't gonna
then I
work.
think it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna
I
work.
think you gotta from the start say, hey,
Or-
I'm interested in doing this, and I'm the kind of person who open relationship. You got to be saying open relationship right out off the bat.
Well, but there are
And then
some
somebody's going to
couples-
say, no, no. Okay, I'm cool with that. I ain't trying to, I'm all right with you being upfront with me and you being honest. Because it's happening.
Yeah, it is.
But black women, I think black women won't, they won't, like, accept that, because they definitely, if they accepted it, couldn't, like, brag about it or talk about it, because they're going to be scorned by their friends and family, and they're like, you stupid.
Yep.
Y'all going to be sharing no blah, blah,
Yep.
blah, blah. But other cultures are like, okay,
That works.
let's
And
do
it's
it.
functional
And they
for
be
a lot of people.
A lot of them be drafting other women.
Let
Hey,
me
I
ask
think
you
we
a
should,
question.
you
Let me
should
ask
marry her.
Let me ask you a question. In a relationship, you don't think the woman know what kind of man she got, and the man don't know what kind of woman he got?
I think for the most part, if you, I think for the
Don't you-
most
don't
part,
you
and
think
then you
that-
just don't want to come to terms with it, maybe. But yeah, I
You come
believe
to
that.
terms with it.
No, but I'm
You-
saying you
you
may
may
know, a woman may know, I ain't really feeling something he doing, but she
No,
ain't-
no. She already knows what he's doing. Women ain't dumb.
I don't know about that.
You don't know about
I mean,
what?
I know
You don't
women
know about what, Negro?
that she just know what he doing.
Well, I mean, she can't just pinpoint it and say he doing it with that
It's
one
called
and he did it with that
it's
one.
called
and that.
intuition.
But she know what he doing. She
So
know
does
what kind of
a man
strike.
have intuition?
No.
A man knows.
I don't know.
A man knows.
I can't speak for.
A man knows
No.
what
I
his
can
woman's
tell you
doing.
that.
Men don't have intuitions.
There you have it.
So you think you know what your woman is doing? You like, I don't know what's going on.
I ain't even gonna try to know. I know I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think he's when he's saying that he's talking about women. He ain't talking about men. I tell you that straight up.
What you mean?
He's talking about women only. Know her
Well,
man.
he said men
He ain't
know.
talking about men know they women
That's
like
what he
that.
said.
Not like
That
that.
is what he said.
Because if his woman
But-
is cheating on him, he ain't gonna know. He gonna be the last person to know.
Nah, men. I think to a certain degree, if it's long
you know when a
term.
woman-
Women are that good, and men ain't even thinking like that.
Really?
You'll be the last one to know
You
she
ain't
cheating.
thinking like that. You know.
I don't have time to think
There's
like
no way you can be 100% the way you were if you start cheating. You change.
That's true.
But I'm saying if
Change
that's
about
true.
you.
No, but I'm
Yeah.
saying if this other person is focused on what they doing, they ain't even noticing the change.
Are you stupid?
What stupid got to do with?
You noticing it?
No, how you gonna tell me what I noticed?
Well,
How you gonna tell me what I
They're
noticed?
arguing with everybody.
I speak my mind with everybody.
well, I'll tell you this. I notice all changes.
Oh well, I don't focus that hard to notice any change. If she
ain't-
start wearing
you ain't got
lipstick
to
and
focus.
heels,
I feel like
I
You
got-
better notice it after
Yeah.
you just told us that's what we
Right.
need to do.
right.
no, I'm saying I'm
'Cause
talking
I
about for
feel-
me.
I
I'm
feel
talking
like
about
if
just
my
like if
man-
she doing it and then going.
Look, if
For
my,
me,
You
it's
would
like
notice that.
if my man not noticing
You know,
me, then
hey,
he's not noticing nothing
He just
about
don't
me,
care.
and he deserved to
It
be
ain't that
cheated
he don't
on.
notice.
I'm saying,
You don't care, dude. You
for
don't
me-
care. You notice. You just don't care.
man,
You can move on.
no. This is what I'm saying. Like
You
really,
notice, but you just really don't care. Because
You
how
don't
could you
care.
not? If you're not
But
paying
listen.
attention to your woman, then what else are you lacking in?
no. I'm saying this is my point. When your life is like complete, and you have your own life, you don't micromanage your mate, and you just maybe I should.
You don't
I'm just
have
saying
your
for
own.
me.
Y'all have a
Girl.
life together.
You don't have.
I'm just
to
talking about a relationship. I ain't talking about we married.
Daryl, you
Okay.
don't have to micromanage.
I'm saying,
It's just there, dude. It's just.
but I'm
there.
saying it's just there for who? Because I'm
It's
looking
there
this
for
way.
you.
I mean, I'm doing this.
Okay.
I'm just saying I ain't the kind of person who gonna notice
Okay.
she texting more, she on the phone
Dude,
more, she'll
you
say I'm going with my friends. I'll be like, okay,
just don't care.
maybe I don't.
Daryl said he got way too much stuff going on to be paying attention
You don't
to
care.
Full life.
you. Right.
Hey,
So do what you do. Cause
Leave your phone. And if it's ringing too much, I'm gonna go put it like somewhere where I don't
'Cause I don't wanna
I
hear
want to
it.
hear it ringing.
That's a sign of a person that don't.
That's a
care.
sign of a person who ain't looking
Don't
for
care.
nothing and
No,
is
that's a-
pretty
So,
satisfied.
Don't care.
so that same scenario, if you, let's say your woman left, and you've noticed that she texting a little bit more, she walk out the room when her phone ring, and she walk out and answer it, just little signs, or she don't answer it whereas she used to answer. So if she left and left her phone, would you look at it?
No. 'Cause
So
I
you don't care?
Well,
He's
I'm
about
a-
to say, because I don't care.
Wait a minute. Let me make a point.
Oh, he gonna talk in circles all night.
I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna talk in circles. I'm just gonna.
This
tell
is
you.
your guess. Why do you bring people on to be mean to them?
Oh,
don't-
that's how we talk to each
Can
other.
y'all hush?
He
and
called me
answer?
stupid.
Yes,
Let
yes,
me
yes, he did.
I don't put my relationships on a basis that they're not at.
What that
If-
mean?
I don't put my relationship up here when it's down here. If she's taking phone calls, and she's texting, she's all that, I keep my relationships where they are. That relationship is not getting any further than right here. It ain't getting up there.
I have no idea what you're saying.
I do.
Maybe one of them.
I do. So
But he didn't answer the question. He never answers the
He doesn't
question.
answer
Answer the
questions.
He
question.
never answers the question.
I answered the way I want to. I can't answer the way you
No,
want.
we want to. She asked you a specific question. You never answered it.
I did answer it. I don't put my relationships on levels that they're not at.
She asked you about the phone ringing.
She gave
You
you a
never
scenario.
answered.
So the answer is yes, I will.
If you listen to
No, I
You asked
won't.
the question, man. I don't leave me out of
If you
it.
listen to the answer and use some intelligence, you probably
Some
can get
She
intelligence.
answered
But
the
you say
question.
he's stupid, so he ain't got none.
Just a small amount of intelligence. Just use a small amount of it.
That's all he got.
Okay.
It could be yes or no.
The
The answer could be yes or no.
The
But
reason why I don't
Yeah,
look
I like
at
it,
it
but-
that tough because the
the
relationship.
phone. Oh, the
I
relationship.
don't. Lord have mercy.
I'm sorry.
She
man.
just asked you if the phone rang.
Nothing.
No, I'm saying she asked him
What
if
you
the
would-
phone rings, would he answer it? And we never got an answer. Would he look at it? Would he go into
I wouldn't even care
it?
if the phone is
So the
ringing.
answer is no.
Answer's no.
No, I wouldn't even care.
Thank you.
The relationship is
But
not.
you-
The relationship has never gotten any further to
Are you
where
in a
that would
relationship
bother
now?
me.
Next question, Vic. Vic, next question. If the relationship was here, the phone's ringing, you notice she's doing something different, it's changing, do you kind of start checking the phone?
The relationship ain't there.
But and maybe you thought it was until you find
I
out.
ain't never thought it was.
I don't know how to do it.
But the relationship ain't there. Y'all don't understand. The relationship ain't
I'm
there.
saying, can we pretend the relationship is
No, we can't pretend because it ain't
there?
there.
Never mind then.
Well, what relationship are we talking about?
Any one of them.
We were making a hypothetical
If I
question.
but-
anytime I've got to worry about somebody's phone ringing, the relationship ain't nowhere near
So,
there.
yes, there he go.
see comment.
There he go. That's what he said.
What's up?
Because
That's my page.
don't nobody know
Go on your
about relationships apparently.
Don't nobody. Everybody
Now,
try to
all-
stay away from
wait a
this
minute, wait a minute.
topic.
Everybody wants to put a relationship on a certain level, and it ain't there yet.
Okay.
It's not
But-
there yet.
Okay. So
It takes time to get.
okay. Listen. I'm gonna give you some
Some
time.
relationships are there.
No, listen. I'm gonna give them some time.
They ain't there.
It's 10 years down the line. So are we there yet?
It may not be there.
But
10
let's say we are. Let's say we are.
10
You,
years down
you
the
can't
line.
say we are. He ain't gonna go
I'm
for
just
it.
telling you, it may not be there.
Okay, but it may not. But it may, right?
For
it
the
may.
sake of her
It
question,
could be. It could be.
for the sake of her question, she's saying, can
When you get there, are you
get there?
ever gonna get there?
Probably not if it's one that's.
Have you ever been there?
Wait a minute. Probably not when
never seen
when
nothing
I'm
like it.
when I'm having to worry about phone calls.
Well, have you ever been there though?
Yeah, I've been there.
Okay, tell us about that.
I did time.
Okay, tell us about that.
Well, I did,
Hard time.
Well,
but I
tell
never
us.
had to worry about that with my female. Never had to worry about it. Never. Wouldn't be nothing I would even think about.
You probably just
So are y'all
wasn't paying
together
attention.
now?
No.
Okay. What was next?
But that was not the reason for our breakup or our relationship. It was never nothing that was between us. She just wanted to do her thing, and I just wanted more out of life than what she wanted. And I got to go get what I want. I'm not going to sit there and live.
can't mess up the game.
Can't mess up.
Can't mess up the game.
I got to
Let's gotta let you play
But
your game.
that is something I never worry about in a relationship.
How long was the relationship?
Oh, I've been knowing her since I was, 2-3 years old.
No, I'm talking about the relationship.
I ain't know nobody
Like,
at 2 or 3.
I'm talking about the relationship itself when
You
y'all
lived
started
on the
to.
island?
I just don't remember nothing past
That
kindergarten.
don't mean you had no relationship because you
I don't
remember.
know. I can't remember anybody from
Is it
2
just-
years old. I just can't.
I can.
The way that
I was boo-booing on myself. I don't know. I can't. I know that probably, but I don't remember.
Boo-booing on yourself at 2?
Probably. I know I don't remember who I had a relationship with.
I was potty trained at 2. 2 years old, you still.
I'm just saying, I don't remember not one person, even my mama.
Can we just get back, please? Can we just
We're
get
talking
back?
about relationship.
I don't even know.
2-year-old, he said they met at 2.
No.
Yeah, I did.
How long was the actual relationship? Okay, after 2.
From 2.
After y'all was sharing your new sharing bottles.
Pacifiers.
Right.
Right.
So when y'all actually got into a relationship, how long did it last?
I was about 17. It lasted about 32.
From 17,
17,
32, from
some 17 years
17
old
to
to 32
32.
years old.
That's a nice
Oh,
little bit of
okay,
time.
15
yeah,
years.
that is.
That ain't no long
That's
time.
15 years.
No, it's a nice bit of time.
That ain't no long time.
He gonna
Okay,
say the
it's
opposite,
not.
whatever.
It's not. You're
No,
right.
it's not.
It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not.
You live 60-something years.
Man, that's a big chunk of your life, though. I'm just saying.
See, that's why you don't need to get married.
Ooh, thank you.
You think 15 years is a big chunk of your life?
Oh, yes, it is.
Wow.
Well, from 17 to 32. At that stage.
That's almost half
Yeah.
of your life at that
yeah.
point.
So, I get it.
It's almost half.
At this stage in life, that don't seem like a lot. But at that stage in life, that was a long-term
That was
relationship.
the intimate. I mean, like, those were the developing years of your life where you were learning and growing, and those were the precious years. You know what I'm saying? You was young and vibrant.
Right.
No,
You know?
they weren't the precious year.
Oh, okay.
With anything, this is tomato. Let's just go
I'm
potato.
gonna tell you something. You don't enjoy life till you're 50, 55 years old. I mean, that's your precious
I
part.
like my
That's
life
the
right
precious
now.
part of your life is right then. It ain't 31, 32.
I think it's whatever you
don't
think
know.
it is.
You don't
For some
know
people, it's in
nothing.
their 30s.
You don't know how to live.
I agree.
You don't know
it's-
nothing.
You haven't experienced enough life. I agree.
I don't think.
I
I
do
don't
agree with
think.
that.
I don't think you being in your 40s and somebody being in their I know people in their 30s enjoy life more than somebody in their 40s and 50s. So I don't agree with that.
Okay, all right.
I
I know-
agree
I know
with
some-
you. You haven't lived a long
Still
enough.
ain't
No,
From a relationship
listen,
standpoint.
I'm saying I know you may be wiser if your situation changed. You may be wiser then, but I'm not saying that a person in their 30s can't enjoy life and appreciate life more than somebody in their 50s or 40s. I think it's just like some people are in a box until they get 50. Some people come out the box at 25.
Yeah, I was in a box
when they get
for a long
30,
time.
in their
I
30s,
was
they
big
living.
square.
Yeah.
Big
You
square.
got 30s, they are actually living, traveling,
Yeah.
enjoying life,
Yeah,
enjoying
new
the family.
stuff.
And then you got people who don't ever just really enjoy life. So I don't think age has anything to do with it. I think you may be wiser.
It all depends on what you call enjoyment is.
Oh my God.
Well,
Just telling you,
whatever
bro.
everybody's individual definition of an enjoyment, and they say they're enjoying it, then they are. Because in my mind, I'm enjoying my life.
I got a
So
question.
for me, it wouldn't matter to you what your opinion is of my life, because I think I'm enjoying it. So that is
Right.
my reality.
Right.
I have a question.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
What are some things that will cause a person to cheat? Like, can we just throw them out there?
Lotus, you want to go first? Because I'm going to
I
say the
mean-
sun come up.
Lord,
you
it's
already.
not-
Nah, it ain't talking
that.
about me.
No, I know, but I'm saying you had already said 3 petty things in your.
So when are you?
Description.
First of all, let's clarify when you're cheating. When is cheating? You talking about girlfriend or marriage?
If you're in a relationship with somebody.
Girlfriend, boyfriend, that ain't cheating.
Yes, it is.
That's bullshit. That ain't nothing but girlfriend and boyfriend.
It
You
matters.
single. You're a single man.
I'm
you
saying
do
it
whatever
matters,
you want to
though.
do. No, it doesn't.
It does matter
It does
if
not
you
matter.
are in a
You ain't, only way you
Victor,
can commit to
Victor.
somebody is to marry him. You cannot commit to him by saying I'm your girlfriend and you my
Yeah,
boyfriend.
that is not true, sir.
Okay.
You can be in a committed.
Okay,
You can
okay.
be in a committed relationship.
Okay. Okay.
This is so
Okay, so
interesting.
according to
Okay.
this is a quote that I had got, and I thought it was profound again. It says, "The act doesn't make the person guilty unless the mind is guilty."
Wow.
So I think that if you are guilty mentally, whether you're like, if you're like, say for instance,
I don't agree with that quote.
I don't
if you're,
either.
I do.
I don't agree with
If
it.
you're sexting somebody,
But what if you think that's not anything to be
That don't mean you're not
ashamed of?
cheating.
That don't
Well,
mean you're
you-
not cheating because you don't think it.
well, because you kind of know, like in your mind, that's
Sexting
kind of
is cheating?
that's.
Sh-
I think sexting is cheating.
But what if that person doesn't think it is? What if it's somebody they don't know?
Well, apparently he doesn't think it is, but I can't.
So that's why I don't agree with that quote, though.
But then I can't see how people don't think sexing is not cheating.
Okay.
Because some people think just the physical act.
Now, Solo, I think it is. So I'm with you. I do think it is. But I'm saying What if
But that
person
quote
doesn't?
says that if the mind doesn't think it's cheating, then it's not.
Because
And I
some
don't.
people go to battle saying, "Well, I was just texting. I ain't
Yeah,
never slept with her."
Well, I'm assuming that people kind of know right from wrong. And
But
so,
my right may not be your right, and my wrong may not be your wrong. I may feel like I may. Here's an example. You may have a couple who the man thinks that it's wrong to watch pornography. The woman doesn't feel like that, or vice versa, whatever. So that can become a hindrance in their marriage because it's two different. In one person's mind, it's not wrong, and in somebody else's mind, it is wrong. But in one individual, they may feel like, "Nah, this is a safe place for me because I can fantasize without actually cheating on you."
Right.
We're at or like strip clubs. You know, like some men or women live out fantasies that way. That's something that they do. Well, your mate may have a problem with that.
Excuse me, babe.
So that's
Right.
that's why it's hard for me to.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
But I
can
do
see-
agree
well,
with
then-
sexting.
So okay, so if we're gonna identify what cheating is, I mean,
I think it's individual.
I mean, it is, but
But-
let's, the common stuff. Like,
But back to
what
your
would that be?
question, what makes a person cheat?
Yes.
I think it's many reasons. What
I
do
know.
you
I
think
just
some
want
are
to
most?
hear some of them. Like, what would that be?
I think sometimes we can. I think sometimes there's no reason at all. It's just a shortcoming or a weakness that an individual in the relationship may have. I think that sometimes they're always searching for something different. I think sometimes that we can neglect our partners and take them for granted, which, you know, at some point you may think they're going to always be there and be faithful and true, but they're trying to get your attention and you not responding, and that can cause room for somebody else to get in that is giving them that attention that they need and want that you're not giving them. So I think that there are a whole lot of different scenarios. That's
Right.
Just a few.
right.
Cheating is in the eye of the beholder.
I knew
I
you
made
was
that
gonna
up.
say
But some people will just cheat just
'Cause
because
they can.
don't have a reason. You know, and not think it's anything. You know, or I've always thought a man could cheat in. Like some women don't believe a man could love them and cheat.
Oh, I believe that.
And I say a man could love you with every ounce of his heart and cheat.
Yep, I
And
believe
it
that.
doesn't change his love for you.
I've
because-
experienced that.
I don't know if I believe that.
I do.
I
Because I think it's a
know.
physical.
Right.
I think it's more
like
of a
boom,
physical
boom, he's
act
done,
for a
ain't no
man.
emotional
I think for a
attachment.
man, it's more of a physical act.
Wouldn't
it's,
trade you
it's
for
his
her
choice
for
of
nothing.
workout. It's his choice of working out.
But see, but now you're saying that cheating is physical when cheating can be just a mere entertainment.
No, it's not one. I didn't say that because
Well,
it's
I'm
not
saying
one or
based-
another.
But based on your response, that's, you know what I'm saying, for that particular thing, it's like cheating is like physical.
I don't think cheating is only physical. I think you can definitely stray all the way away from your relationship. I think for women, we cheat mentally first, then physically. Because I think by the time a woman gets to the point where she's intimate with somebody, she left him a long time ago. The average woman. Now, I don't know because I can only speak from my own personal experience, but just from having conversations and studying and stuff like that, I definitely think by the time a woman strays, she's raised every red flag that she could. She's tried to have these conversations, and she's gotten to a point where she already checked out, because I think it takes a long time for a woman to even, if she's in a committed relationship that she's really, really committed to. But I don't know, because I can only speak from my own life story.
So what do you think? I think a lot of people cheat because of the 80-20. They think that they missing the 20%. They want to go out and get it,
And they'll screw up
And
80
then-
for 20.
not knowing they have. A lot of
But it
people don't
depends
know
on
they
how
have
important
80.
that 20%. What 20%
Oh, yeah,
is
we
that
talked about
partner
that, yeah.
lacking? You know what I'm saying?
That
Like
20 could be a huge
Exactly.
part.
Wow.
that 20 may be community for me, or spirituality. You know what I'm saying? Or
Or the
how you
20 could be
handle-
sex.
Right, sex. We know we don't really connect good.
Yeah.
Or somebody don't handle money good. You know what I'm saying? So that 20 could be a deal breaker.
Right.
What y'all turn around and look at me for?
Oh, because I thought you was going to answer.
Because you kind of like here
On the show,
at the table.
kind of like got a mic in front of you.
I just thought that you was going to, because he yielded to you. So I thought you was going to answer the question.
I ain't asking him no more questions.
I'm scared too. So we just let you say what you want to say. And that way you're not answering somebody's
Right,
question.
yeah.
So what do you think?
Y'all just want me to answer your question in the way you want me
You
to
ain't
answer.
even
We just
answer.
want to answer.
We just want, you ain't even answer.
I'm going to answer it the way I want
Well,
to.
he
Look,
said-
but you ain't even answering our question, so
I
just say
answered it.
something.
I answered the
He is.
question.
Okay, so what do
Just
you
say
think?
something.
Here's the
What do you
question.
think about anything?
What do you think?
What do I think
And she
about
did
what?
think-
It don't matter. You gonna answer what you want anyway. No matter
I
what
think
we,
he just told us what
you
he
ask
thought.
him a question. I ain't doing it.
I
Solo said no. It ain't gonna work.
I already tried. Would you like to say something?
I want to know what you think.
About what?
Anything.
Kind of like what we talking about.
Yeah, just hit any subject.
Talking about cheating?
Yeah.
We were kind of.
What do you think about cheating?
Yeah.
Man, that's all an individual thing. You know what I mean? There's no, you can't pinpoint anything on the reason why a person cheat.
Okay.
I don't know what
We're just looking for some wisdom. I mean,
And we ain't getting it. You will not get it tonight. Unless you'll talk to yourself. Ain't nothing wise came from that mic all night.
on anything that what you're talking about.
Just say something.
What you're talking about, there's no concrete answer to none of
Just
this.
give us
y'all.
your opinion on something.
I mean, we know that.
Wait,
We just
we
talking
know-
from
we
our
understand
own
that. We do this every
experiences.
week.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no
there's
no concrete answer to nothing y'all talking about.
So that's what you think.
That's your answer.
That's my answer.
Okay.
It's each
My bad, y'all. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm
Hold
gonna
on.
tell you something.
Accept, you accept my apology. You accept my apology, Lotus. I'm sorry.
You'd have been through. We've been through it a few times.
Oh, this is my first
So
time.
you shouldn't accept it.
This my
You
first
really
time.
shouldn't accept my apology. Solar should.
So loud.
Yeah, I mean, this is my first time. But I was thinking, you know,
This my first time.
when a person
Someone said, I
has,
didn't
when
know.
a person look at 15 years as, you know, not a long time, and the best time of their life is, you know, like toward the late, I don't want to say
50s and
in
60s.
the
That's what
50s
he
and
said.
60s. I was just kind of expecting to hear some, I guess, personal experiences, but not too personal, but just, you know, just kind of, like, I want to, I just want to, I was just expecting to hear, like,
Something normal.
I just wanted something
Like a human
It's after
statement.
10.
to think about.
A human being talking.
Are we going to do our wrap-ups?
No, Victor.
I've never experienced that problem. I've never experienced women cheating on me.
You haven't?
No,
That's good.
that's nothing I've ever.
That's a
experienced.
blessing.
It ain't a blessing.
Oh.
But
No, it's
did
not
he
a
just tear
blessing.
my world all apart? Like it ain't no reality.
It's not a blessing. It's just how you run your life and what you do. I mean,
So we run it up. Have you been cheated on before?
Can you
girl?
tell
I
us?
sure hope so.
Can
I sure hope
you
so.
tell us how you run your life then,
no,
so that some other people can?
that ain't none of your business.
Okay. Okay. I'm just talking about in the sense of so people, if you don't have problems with cheating,
I need what he
No,
got. I need what he
because
got.
I don't put I don't put no relationship. She's just a woman to me. She got to prove that she can be my woman. You just don't just walk in and start talking.
well, we
to
weren't
somebody.
talking. We weren't talking like today. Somebody walked through the door and bam, that's your woman.
She said 10 years.
It could be 5, 10 years. It could be 10 years. I've been with a lady 10 years, and
We know. You've been 115 and
I was married to her, and never had to experience that problem. Never.
Did you cheat?
That ain't none of your business.
I just thought I'd sneak it in.
I know you gonna sneak in.
that ain't none of your business.
That ain't none of my business.
I'll tell you what,
17.
I have to do what I have to do to take care of my family.
Okay.
I
You
got
selling your
my-
body?
I was thinking that on the phone.
Selling your body?
Selling your body.
Oh. Oh.
Oh,
So
you
you a
saying you was a
pimp?
pimp?
You
You
was
was
a pimp?
pimping back in the day?
Selling your body.
All right.
But
I
that
have to
ain't
do-
that
I
ain't
have to-
cheating.
I have to do what I have to do.
That ain't you cheating though.
I don't.
That's
I
him
don't
making
have,
hutchie.
I don't explain nothing to nobody. I do what I have
That's
to do.
how he been surviving
I
all
play to
these
win.
years.
I have to do what I have to do to
This
win.
is so interesting.
I guess we got a little bit of wisdom.
I ain't trying
Thank you so
to.
much.
I ain't trying to be
I gave you a
looking
little.
all
Got his shoulder
a
come
certain way.
Like, you don't
What
tell
time is it?
nobody your
After
business.
10.
I got a plane to catch.
All right, let's
Where you
go.
going?
Can we wrap it? I got a plane to catch.
Where you going? San Francisco?
DeSoto. I just want to get out.
Oh my goodness.
I
Are
Dang.
you in a sunken
This
place?
your guest. How are you?
I said I'm sorry.
Are you in a sunken place
I
right
said
now?
I'm sorry.
It's your friend.
You remember the movie Get Out when
Yes.
I heard
You
it
know what
couldn't?
I'm saying? You in the
That's me right now.
I told
The
you.
second place.
I told you to tell me what the subject was.
It wasn't good. It wouldn't have mattered.
I would have rather been somewhere else.
It wouldn't have mattered.
Dang. You ain't being here with
He
us?
never asked what the subject was. He just said, "Where's the station?"
Look at your
I'm
text.
hurt.
Look at your text.
They were ladies are talking to you.
No, look at your text.
I'm
and,
hurt.
And see if I asked you
I'm
what
offended.
the subject was.
I'm offended.
Why are you so offended, young
Because
lady?
you just dissed the Black of the Berry.
I can do that.
Live.
I can do that.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Look at this.
If we don't wrap it up, I'm going.
Okay, so you gonna walk
I'm
out?
gonna spike these headphones. Like I just scored a touchdown.
Why can't I do?
Like I just scored a
Why can't
touchdown.
I diss the Black
Okay,
of the
Lotus.
Berry?
Come on, Lotus.
Okay, so everybody wants us to wrap up the show. Thanks, Vic.
Girl, let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
Next
So
time
give us
when-
our
next
final
time I
thoughts.
ask you
This is
what
final
the
thoughts.
subject is, you tell me. what
Next
the
time
think
you
you gotta
ask, you
worry about
text
it.
me and ask me.
No, he ain't got to worry about it. You got to worry about asking me that.
You
no
good.
more.
He good. He good on that.
This is it.
He good on
We're
that.
going to put this show in the archive.
He good on
I'm
that.
fine with that. I'm fine with that.
I shared it too.
All right. So,
You say y'all ain't gonna believe it.
all right. Final thoughts on the subject of relationships. Wow. Vic, can you give us your final thoughts?
Now start with him down there.
He going
I
to do
mean,
the
we-
opposite, whatever you say.
Everything. That's okay. Just
My final thoughts are, I really don't know what to think or make of relationships. I just think that I do think that communication is key, regardless of how you communicate. But you do have to explore different avenues of communication, and I think you should just be honest with yourself. Like, is being in a one person, what is it?
monogamous.
Yeah, monogamous relationship, is that for you? Or would you prefer being in a polygamous relationship or no relationship at all? I don't know. But you really need to figure out what it is that you want and what makes you happy before you bring somebody else into your madness. That's all I got.
So,
My turn?
I don't know. Vic, are you ready yet or not yet?
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
Okay.
The only thing I'm gonna tell everybody is take your time, man.
That's real advice.
your relationship is you're taking it too fast. Slow your roll. Do what you got to do. Go out. Do what you can. I mean, trying to have a relationship in 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. Man, don't put all that strain on a relationship. If you like being with him, be with him. If he likes being with you, be with him. And then everything will just start meshing. It just happens. Things just happen. Just take your time. That's all. Take
Okay.
your time.
What you got, G?
Yeah, I just say get your foundation. I agree with him. Don't rush. Take your time. Get to know the person. Get to know what their likes and dislikes are before you rush in anything. If you can, hold off on the sex because that's going to
Cloud
gotta
the vision.
cloud your judgment.
You gotta
It's
have
gonna-
some sex.
Well, yeah, that's how a lot of people get in these situations. But I just say take your time. Figure out if you can be in a relationship with this person without sex, and then you can integrate sex after you realize, hey,
I can roll.
we're good.
I can be with them.
So
And my final thoughts probably pretty close to G, the same thought process. Like,
Go ahead, sis.
I'm so confused. The same thought process. I do think, and the same thing that Vic said. I do think that we need to take our time and get to know people better. I think relationships are rushed, and we don't put in the time that is necessary, and I think that that's unfair to everybody involved. I think that we need to be wiser, and it is okay to go back to some of traditions from old school and date and spend time with each other outside of an intimate setting. A lot of people just don't even know how to date anymore, and I think that that's a big issue when it comes to having healthy relationships, because if all you do have is sex, or that is your foundation, that was your initial, then you've missed out on a lot. And it really could be a great person that you really just, the foundation was not laid tight enough and solid enough and sound enough for you to build on. So I say take your time, get to know each other, be okay with being by yourself, and be okay with being single, and be true to yourself. Be honest with yourself. Like, if it's certain things that you don't want to compromise on, then don't do it, because you're not going to be happy, and it's going to come up later, and it's going to haunt the relationship. So that's all I got. We don't know a whole lot about relationships on the Black and the Berry. That's what we got for y'all tonight. We out.
Peace.
Tomorrow we talking step families. So come sit with us. Come hang out. Get in the conversation at Brick House. All right, y'all.
Hey, man, I'm sorry I messed up your show. Oh.
Whose show? No, I ain't messing my show.